Here we are, folks. This is the third quarterfinal, and this has been the tournament of upsets so far. Vinchester, a big name who is maybe looking at the bracket now and is just like, wait a second, I'm maybe one of the favorites remaining in this whole thing. He's looked really good. His strategy against Hart in the round of 16 was top tier. He's playing as the Lithuanians. Then we got Mihai, pretty close to him here, playing as the Spanish. And with me, I have Ganji yet again. Ganji, nice to have you, dude.
It's nice to be here. I would like to say that Mihai's TC is not the prettiest I've ever seen, but, well, we'll have to make a lumber camp for the Bitex eventually anyway, but there's not that many trees around the TC.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, we have just grown so used to having to build the TC so fast now, so you don't fall behind a villager. And I guess he probably saw trees and hadn't scouted the other area of the woodline before he placed the TC. So that's kind of rough. The nice thing is everything else is pretty nice. He's got some boars close by. The thing that could be interesting is there's actually a boar to the north of both of them. And when TCs are this close together, you will sometimes see that one player gets not just like one extra board, but almost two, right? Because Vinch is also got the one on the shoreline. So if he gets to this one faster, it adds a board to Vinch's count and takes one away from Mihai's potential. So
it's interesting that Lithuanian was like the last pick, and it's such a great civ. It just speaks to how many good civs there were actually left.
So there is a middle pond here, and usually players will both scout that, but here Mihai didn't actually scout that. His dock is way down in the south of the map, and he's going to find the landlock with his sheep, so he'll know that Vinchester's dock is most likely anywhere else. But the ponds could make things interesting here, and I think like Vinchester's definitely the type of guy to maybe sneak a few extra fishing ships later on.
Yeah, I think it also makes it a bit easier for Vinch to wall. Like, usually we're Spanish, it's kind of like you win water as Lithuanians, and then Spanish is up faster to Castle for conks, but if Vinch just wins... Oh, he killed the boar.
He just killed his boar with his TC. Yikes.
Oh,
well, I'm going to need
That's really bad, actually.
That's horrible. That's horrible for Vinch, because I don't think he sees another boar right now.
Yeah, fast feudling of this is going to be tricky.
Yikes. I mean, it changes everything.
Yeah, and as we said, like, the thing versus Spanish is you really need to go fast feudal to kill their fish, so their conk play won't be as effective.
He would have had time to figure it out and find the next boar. So it wouldn't have been an issue. He doesn't have one right now if he would have be eating that. But I got to explain. So it is a tiny little thanks DE moment. Because for the last like 2 years, if you're weakening the boar with the TC, you put the villagers inside, you shoot the boar. Anytime you would eject your vills out of the TC would stop firing arrows. And so the most recent patch, which was like 4 weeks ago, if you ungarrison and re-garrison, the arrows still fire on target. And so that is what happened there. There was the extra arrow from Vinch's villager. But that's been in the game again for like 4 weeks. It's been announced. Like, players should absolutely know about it, and you do have to adapt your play. So it's unfortunate, but it is kind of on Vinch, unfortunately, as well.
It is. It's just unfortunate that you would have to like adjust to that thing, so to speak. But it's fine. He got the boar now. We'll see if he manages fast feudal age behind this. But as I said before, like, this pond kind of makes it so that Vinch can actually wall the map. Like, he can actually stonewall the front. Like later, if conks were to break and stuff, to buy time. And I think that could suit Vinch pretty well.
So this is kind of interesting. So Mihai's goose here, it got close to the TC and then doubled back. But he saw a house with another goose. So I'm wondering if he's thinking there's potential that there's a dock in the middle for Vinch. Because the dock is next to water, and he lost the sheep there.
Yeah, this might be overkill thinking, but he saw 2 deer and not 3. So does that mean Vinch took it? And that his TC is close? Or is that overthinking it a bit?
Well, the fact that he went back with the goose makes me think that maybe there is a TC there.
Yeah.
But also, you might just not want to give your opponent another sheep.
Yeah.
So I have no clue. I mean, Vinchester's scouting, he found the dock from Mihai. And what you said earlier is absolutely spot on. The Lithuanians, they want to kill those fish. So, well played from Vinch. He lamed himself, He's still probably going to have an epic uptime, and I think he's going to build the dock right next to the dock from Mihai.
Yeah. Yeah, his woodline is already getting a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
He'll have to make a lumber camp at some point, which he didn't really want to make too early, but it looks like Mihai is going for an FC at least.
It's so crazy. So Wandering Warriors Cup 1, we had pretty much the same map pool. I think we only added one map here, which was Stranded. But when we looked at the balance of the maps, just by today's standards, we were just like, oh man, this tiny thing needs to be tweaked. That tiny thing needs to be tweaked. Like, that is absolutely GG if there's an extra tree there. You know, like, the level's so high. This is maybe a bit more of an obvious example, but things like this can really set you back. To have to build a lumber camp, having the wood line be so inefficient right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well played from Vinch. Do you think Vinch is a big favorite in this series, by the way? We didn't talk a lot about that in-game.
Hard to say. Like, he's a favorite for sure. But I think Mihai did a great performance for Stata. I mean, Vinch also destroyed Heart, not gonna lie. So I think Vinch is playing really good at the moment. So is Mihai. So I think anything can happen. Like, these normal maps are a bit tricky, right? So if you have a good opening, good initiative, then you can really snowball it. And both players are fantastic in their own right. So
Vinch is definitely doing everything he needs to try and pile on the pressure to the Spanish early. You don't want the Spanish to drop a castle on you. So he's built the forward outpost, seems to have an idea that Mihai is there. He then has the second dock. So he's going to go immediately to kill Mihai's fish. It feels like Mihai's fish are definitely going to go down.
Yep.
And he is going to get as much value as he can from that, and he's on stone already. So fast castle, still the plan for Mihai.
Yep.
So
it's true that Vinch Gold is very forward there, so if Mihai does drop a castle in that direction, that Vinch would have to go like far to the far left side to take gold.
Yeah, I think like
Mihai walled in the villager on the bottom.
Which means he might do it again if Vinchester fights back. Nah, okay, Mihai just runs away. That's funny. I would never expect Mihai to be that guy, honestly. I would have thought that it would be somebody else. Even Vinch.
Yeah. Well, both of these players are kind of micro nerds, right? But not necessarily known for their walling in villager type of skill.
Yeah.
So they are both very good at it for sure.
Well, in the series yesterday, we saw the same matchup, and Viper applied pressure to the fish right away, and then his opponent had to try and recover, and ultimately couldn't go for the castle. Here, Mihai's just going to give up his fish, and he's just going to try and go for that castle. And I like the decision. When you're this close, if you could drop a castle with Spanish, even 2 conquistadors can completely end the game.
Definitely.
So, and Vinch is stonewalling up, which on one hand I really like, but on the other hand, we've seen instances where people really try and break through Mihai's walls right now and try and get some kills. So it could be tricky for Vinch.
Yeah, for sure. I like how Mihai kind of saved the fishes for as long as he could. But he should lose the water there eventually.
Yeah, he's actually still saving the other fishing ships. He sacrifices one. Vinchester is not noticing this. And this is some really nice value right now for Mihai.
Yeah. Mihai blocks with a few fishing ships again to get the edge. He can actually maybe win that fight. But
no
it is
way.
Quite expensive repairing all the time, but still good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
he will lose water eventually anyway, so maybe it's not even worth it in the end.
I think if you could force Vinch to make an extra fire or 2, that's still kind of nice as well on the back end of that. Yeah, but it looks like Vinch wins water. And there's also no likelihood for Mihai to get to Vinch now because he's blocked off here. So really nice position for Vinch. He isn't stonewalled everywhere, though.
Yeah, but Mihai actually added a tower. He didn't know if Vinch had some sneak on the bottom side since there was a vill down there.
Oh.
Doing an outpost.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Like, this castle might be a bit late. Like, he won't get it in instantly.
I think the fact that he knows that the gold is there for Vinchester is huge, though.
Yeah.
I would like to see an outpost from Mihai, so he gets a bit more vision there. And if he gets the vision to know exactly where the wall is from Vinch, or even the fact that Vinch is walling at all, then you know exactly where to drop your castle.
Yep.
So how do you play this? We know it's going to be castle drop from Mihai, right? That's obvious. Everybody in the world knows that. How do you play this if you're Vinch? Like, you got the eco lead, but you're still not going to be in Castle Age.
Well, I think Monks is a must to open up in Castle Age, and then I would add a TC or two, maybe just one, and then try to get a bigger eco, and then switch into some proper unit, like maybe Skirm to counter the Conks, or something like that along those lines.
Okay.
I think Knights and stuff like that doesn't do much, unless you have a sneak on the other side, perhaps. But I don't think he has that at the moment, so...
Okay.
Yeah, I think Monk defense is just the way to go.
Yeah, this castle has to do damage for Mihai. He's way behind in workers now. Vinch could also easily go up above 6 fishing ships. We see 10 to 12 a lot, so...
I'm a bit surprised it didn't go up to more, right? It's 3 docks. Adding a 4th in the middle.
The 4th in the middle...
Squeezed in a few.
Is that so he doesn't get transported?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, it might not be for fishing ships. Everything's pretty close quarters here. Here come the Vills from Mihai. Well, he's being awfully casual about this, but now he's bringing the Vills. I'd like to see him delete his walls. Yeah, place it right on the stone wall. Yeah, that's perfect. All right,
Only annoying part of placing it at the stone wall is that you can't kill those tiles like right next to it, right?
Yeah, true.
And sometimes if you pop the conks to the left, they might actually pop on the right side. Like, annoying DE stuff like that.
Yeah. That's... You're speaking from experience here. After placing castles next to walls on Black Forest.
Yes, for sure. I'm being annoyed that they spawn on the wrong side.
It's amazing how like experiences like that just influence how you see tiny things in the game.
Well, you basically get like small PTSD from all those small moments, and then you at least remember them forever.
All right, well, Vinch is up now. He's still on stone, but that could have just been because he's been stonewalling a lot. Yep. And he did add a fire galley here, so I think he was paranoid about a transport ship. And now Mihai was maybe considering a dock in that area for the transport ship, so that was good thinking from Vinch. Mihai does not know there's another layer of stone walls from Vinch, and he goes for the TC, and he goes for the monastery. So pretty much what you said, but it does come down to execution here, right?
Yep, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's funny how these kind of matchups really turn into this a lot. Like the Lithuanian guy winning water, the Spanish guy going FC Conks, and then if the Lit can defend with Monks properly and get an eco lead on the back of it, then he usually wins. But never know about Conks. They can do a lot still.
Yeah, Vinch did all the right things. I think sometimes people rely too much on one house in their stonewall.
Yep. And
if they do that, that house is the target. I like Mihai's eco behind. I mean, for a guy who doesn't have fish, it's looking pretty smooth. The 4 farms already, finishing off the hunt, finishing off the berries. So he could transition this into booming or maybe a castle drop.
Yeah. I think Vinchester as a player is extremely well versed as well. Like, he plays closed maps, he plays open maps, he plays nomad maps. Like, he really is jack of all trades in a way.
I love the stonewalling from Vinch. Yeah, Pawn so far has helped Vinchester.
Yeah.
And he's going to go for the 3 TCs. But if he doesn't get conversions, this could be problematic. And Mihai is ready to kill those monks at all times. And is even mixing in the siege. You can kind of tell the pathing problems you mentioned.
Yeah.
Here at the Stonewall right now. I mean,
I think Mihai is going for second cast drop on Vinch face, which is quite an all-in maneuver.
Yep. He's bringing a petard now, so he could break through. You need to stay away from the shoreline right now if you're Mihai. He's going for the dock!
Is that faster? I guess it is, maybe.
I was not expecting him to go for the dock.
Yeah,
I just kind of assumed he was going to go for the wall. And Vinch sees the dock is about to go down. He can run along the shoreline now, but he's got to be careful. And Vinch will have some houses. Vinch will have a castle, and Vinch has his monks waiting. So I think Mihai's going to run in here and quickly be pushed away. Dang.
Yeah, it has Vils on the top. I guess going for the berries, I thought that was a castle drop, but it would be a good place to do it, kind of.
But I mean, like, what are you thinking right now if you're Mihai? You've just hit another wall. This is the 3rd layer, essentially, of defense.
Like, your plan is already to go, like, full 1TC push, and now you're kind of stopped by the castle, so either you have to adjust and go booming, or you go even harder with ramps and stuff.
Okay.
Or try to find a different angle.
Vinch has done a ridiculous job making this difficult for Mihai to find damage.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Vinchester also knows if he breaks through the house, that he might try and break through this area. He also sees Vils now. And Mihai's probably like, are you freaking kidding me? I don't want to waste my castle dropping it behind a wood line, but I just can't get in. So is there a world where Mihai could, like, this is going to seem ridiculous, but where Mihai could maybe just sell his stone, buy food, and try imp?
Sounds crazy, but he might need to try something. He is 20 mils behind.
Yeah.
But then again, if it does get in here, it's not like Vinch has a lot of army. He has 2 monks. That's it.
Yeah, true. Okay. And it's...
But he's doing a good job walling.
Yeah, good constant pressure. And he is going to drop the castle there. Hopefully he doesn't destroy his own castle. It should be fine.
I would love to see the unique tech hill forts. I don't think I've ever seen it in a competitive game actually doing anything, but that would be cool to see. So that TC has +3 range or whatever it is.
If the conks get into your eco, I think it's sick.
Yeah.
Right now, though, I think it does cost food and gold. So when you're trying to save
I have no idea what
imp,
it costs.
Yeah,
Maybe like 300, 150 or something.
It's 250 food, 250 gold. So that does kind of delay your imp time a little bit.
That is fairly expensive, actually.
Vinchester.
And he doesn't need it for now anyway. So.
Yeah. I remember a game where I was completely going to die to Arbalest timing, and I didn't have the skirm switch in yet. And I think my opponent was like Vikings, right? So no bomb or cannon or anything to really push. And Hill Forts just saved me, because the Arbalest couldn't get anywhere through my eco because of the amazing range from the TCs.
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice tech, honestly, but yeah. Either you don't think about it, or it's a very specific situation where it's good.
So, to recap, especially for those that just got here, Vinchester knew a castle was coming. He made 1 layer of Stonewall. That got castled. He made another layer of Stonewall. Then he dropped the defensive castle. Then he dropped even more Stonewalls. Now the army's moved around. Mihai's made it through Stonewall number like 3 or 4 now. And now Vinchester has another Stonewall. So this is like time after time after time. Vinchester just continues to delay from this. And I think he's even prepping just in case Mihai goes through another piece of Stonewall here once the monastery's down.
Yeah. Mihai actually did go back on water with the fire ships on the top, but he's not really finding any fish for now.
Yeah.
And he committed quite heavily for it, so... there's a transport coming around. So he will be able to get into Vinch Eco somewhat.
Oh, yeah, that... I didn't think about that. Okay, so yeah, he has the potential of the transport. Vinch's fish are all down towards the south, so you're right. I think it's going to take some time for Mihai to ever find that. Plus, it's a lot of work right now. He's got other things to manage.
Yeah, for sure.
But Vinch is not expecting the Navy. He's just not going to see that. And he's not expecting the transport ship. And there go the conks. Here we go. Now, where's Mihai going to go? Because he knows about the next layer of Stonewall. He doesn't know about Vinchester's castle. So if he jumps out at the wrong position here, this could be tough. This could also be a really good position for Hill Forts, Ganji.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I really want to see it. But does he think about that? It's such a rare tech to do. I'm not sure intuitively you would just do it.
It's such
Maybe
a caster
would be
thing,
there.
Right?
I mean, Tata would do it, but I'm not sure about the rest.
Yeah, well, conks are in.
Think about.
Right underneath the TC. Hello? Both players are clearly very distracted. Maybe Vinchester will never notice this because they both seem to be distracted with other things. Maybe it was the conks down towards the south. Vinch does react, though, and the conks are getting some nice value here, finally.
Yeah.
That's really frustrating for Vinchester. This was supposed to be your safe space. Now he's got 20 idols. So Mihai's eco is way more efficient at the moment. And no real long-term army comp for Vinchester right now. But there it is! Hill Fort's on the way!
Let's go! I like that.
Actually sick.
I mean, just the recognition of doing it is really nice.
I'm guessing that Vinchester also didn't know how much it costs. I love Vinch.
Yeah, probably.
But if you didn't know how much it costs, I think Vinch probably didn't know how much it costs. And he checked and said it's worth it, so... I mean, it still doesn't give you an immediate answer to the conks right now. It's just they can't get closer to the TCs. And look at that now. That's crazy range!
Look at that range.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure Vinch can count on one hand how many times he did the tech, like, actually, so...
Yeah.
Very nice that he did remember it, though. I'm somewhat impressed.
Well,
though as you said, it's not extremely helpful right now, but it does help a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly more helpful than anything else he could have done for the time being. And now Mihai is probably focused elsewhere. He tries to find damage. I don't think he knew about that castle. So he runs into that. That conk's going to go down. His mangonel could go down as well. There is a raid from Mihai in the south. But even a garrison with the Hill Fort's TC could kill those conks. So it's just, again, just time and time again, Vinch just seems to just push back any of these raids.
Yep.
Now he's got Trebs. This is going to be tough for Mihai from here. And Vinchester also deletes his own walls. He's going to run through. So he's actually going to raid now, which is really smart.
And it's not like Vinch is on the clock. Like, he has the better echo. I think latest skirm, like, kind of kills anything.
Yeah.
As well. So, if anything, Mihai is on the clock. But currently he's just booming away, adding conks.
Oh, he does rewall real quick. Nice rewalls there from Mihai. I kind of expected those latest to go through. So the latest will stay out for the time being. But how many times have we seen this where if the Spanish start to lose their castles and they're behind an eco, they've got a real uphill battle to climb.
Yeah, I think as long as the conks don't work in early to mid castlage, then usually the Spanish just fall behind.
I'm just really impressed. Even with the best players, we have seen so many people get overwhelmed by just a couple conks.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, remember the Barles ACCM series? Where Barles was against Bengalis, which have crazy good eco. He lost his fish. But then 3 conquistadors found damage. Even past stone walls with a transport, all these things. And then Barles beasted that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Vinch has been super smooth. Vinch has 1 treb on each castle. He is losing his latest. Like, latest might ignore armor. That doesn't really help much against conks. But
true.
I guess when the castle's down, then there's not going to be many more conks.
Yeah, he bought 2 relics. Could grab a third in the bottom side of the map, the south side.
Yeah. Couple fires still out there. Vinchester's fish don't really matter anymore, but for what it's worth, he's kept the most alive in the south. And it's looking tough for Mihai, but he's bought himself a little bit of time. He could still use the 6 conks and maybe a couple monks to hold, but he's just not going to click up to imp.
Yep.
Vinchester's super far ahead here, game 1.
And what army comp should he actually go for? Like, he could go full conks, but he also expects a skirm switch from Vinch eventually. Or Vinch might not even feel like he needs it. I'm not sure.
I think if he adds a couple monks right now with the 6 conks, he's okay. But that's not going to help there. Losing one of those monks, now losing 2 of those monks is kind of awkward. And he's going to drop another castle here to get more conquistadors. But he needs support for the conks as well. Vinch doesn't seem interested in that skirm switch, by the way. We haven't had many ranged upgrades. He's just YOLOing latest.
Yeah. And so far, I think it's working out good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming if he sees like a help switch or something, he will just switch, or... Well, it is latest after all. He could just continue latest, potentially.
This is nice from Vinch. I mean, sure, he could make the switch, but that takes time. And what Mihai doesn't have a lot of right now is time. And even though the conks might get some kills, a lot of the latest go down. This is just pressure on Mihai constantly. And Mihai fails to get the gate down. The latest make through. Mihai also couldn't deny the castle, so the castle's now on his face. And that's his imp TC.
Yeah.
So it's very likely that Mihai might lose that TC, and Mihai taps out. Vinchester just defending every step of the way. He knew exactly what he needed to do against Spanish, and it was just kind of the perfect game 1 for Vinchester.
Yep, very composed. Like, he wasn't overly worried at all times, and he defended really well. I think, as you said in the beginning, the lake kind of did help him as well with narrowing the map a little bit.
Well, I don't think Mihai was expecting Vinchester to defend every single aspect so well. Yeah. The fact that Vinchester docked to stop a transport ship before Mihai even had the idea was crazy to me. So he had the fire there, and then he had 4 or 5 different layers of stone walls, as well as monks, as well as castles. So I think Vinch made this look way easier than it actually is. Like, I think for a lot of people, they get those stone walls down and they get the dock down, all those things, and then their farming eco is atrocious.
Yeah, for sure.
Or they don't add the fish.
Much harder than it looked.
Yeah.
Vinch just made it look super easy.
Yeah.
And it's not like Mihai had a bad game. Like he just tried to go all in with Kongs and it didn't work. That's it. And then he tried to fall back on booming, which is obviously extremely hard when you're already behind. So
yeah, I wonder if maybe for Mihai, it's hard to say, but maybe for him he needed to contest water in the middle. I don't know. That feels like you're 1 or 2 steps removed from getting the damage if you have to go water too.
It feels like a trap, right? Because even if you kill, let's say, the enemy's fish, Lith in general have better echo, and if you go water, you kind of can't go Kongs. It's a bit tricky.
Game 2.
Perfect defense.
We've got Golden Hill. We've got Vinchester playing Dravidians. And we've got Mihai playing the Italians. Wow, so 2 big water civs here. Most of stone and gold's in the middle. As I'm assuming people know by now, because there's been a lot of Golden Hill games. But does immediately make me think, will we see galleys, will we see fire galleys between these two?
Yeah, Vinch played this one versus Hart, right? He did the fire opening completely, right? And then they did a Vilwar in the middle, which was interesting.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Got to play that game.
That was crazy. I think Hart couldn't believe it, because Hart was probably still had belief in the galley opening, but just the fact that he had to pull his Vils off gold to respect the Vil rush meant he couldn't make galleys. And Mihai, I don't really remember as specifically his Golden Hill games, but I believe he's more of a galley player, if I had to guess.
Sounds like it, yeah. I think when he used to play a bunch of islands game with me for Hating Cup, he used to do like a lot of galleys and then into full fires, like late feudal age to early castle age. Not sure if he will do something similar.
Yeah. So I've done a couple practice builds on this because I don't want to be completely embarrassed in the community cup we're running.
Okay.
And I find the start on this map quite tricky because you got to get that first boar in, but it's not like another map where maybe you find a couple sheep right away. You're usually using those sheep to scout. So just like the early dock timing, the early fishing ship, especially if you don't have Dravidians or like, I guess like Italians, these are the two best civs for it, but it could be kind of complicated. But I think these two should be fine. Vinch actually delayed his dock. I actually don't hate that because you get the extra Vil on board. You get your TC up a little bit faster. And he could still get the fishing ships out soon, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he could have skipped the house by doing the dock first, I suppose. But yeah, it doesn't really matter in the end, honestly.
Yeah. So I really think with how good Mihai is, he's going to have confidence in going galleys here. And so the approach to counter that, in my opinion, is to make it messy and take the fight to the opponent. So forward dock, on their face, somewhere near the crossing is super good. I also am kind of a big fan of also maybe sneaking a Vil through if you want to make it even crazier than that. But if someone goes forward dock against, like, if the meta is becoming forward dock more frequently, is it bad to go galleys? Should you position your docks in a certain way? Like, what are you thinking if you're the galley player right now?
I'm not sure. I mean, the tricky part is that you don't know what the enemy will do before you kind of see it. Like, I don't know. I think still galley opening is a fine opening in general. It's just very micro intensive.
Okay.
But versus Dravidian is kind of tricky. Like they get all that extra wood. The docks provide the houses. I mean, Italian bonuses are good, but they kind of scale during the game. Not so much in feudal age. You get
Vinch. He lamed himself in the first game. Still won. Now look to the right. He can't see that boar in the fog of war. So that's unfortunate. And now he just thankfully found a boar on the left.
Yeah.
He really needed that boar. So I have a thought on the whole galley conversation.
All right.
What I've been seeing a lot of is players will build their docks super close together with the galley builds. I think just because their original dockville just needs something to do. I think if you want to go galleys, you need to pull your second dock to the side. So Mihai's second dock should be over to the right.
Okay.
And then you can't get surprised from different angles, so you can't get surrounded by docks, like what happened to Hera when Nikov went forward docks. You've just got that easy choke point. You could hide your fish there, and it just, I don't know, it helps you build up that mass and micro in the early stages.
Yeah, I mean, that also sounds very reasonable for sure.
But that is kind of different than the game allows sometimes, because I think that initial Vil, no one wants to lose that initial Vil's walking distance to just walk back home or something, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, but it's also good for the fish efficiency, right? Like, you don't want to do it too close to the other dock as well, just because of that as well.
Yeah, true.
But I could also see Vinch going like 1 or 2 dock fires and then maybe a sneak and do ranges. Or like a range on Mihai's side or something like that, or range in the middle. Like the Dravidian bonuses kind of work pretty well in that regard. Getting that extra wood for the range or the barracks or whatever.
Yep. Well, Mihai's clicking up, and he's clicking up without a lumber camp. So he went mining camp for a second building. He's not taking the gold in the middle, so I think he's done his homework. If he's going to go galleys, he doesn't want to fall into the position that Hart did and go for the gold in the middle and have Vinchester rush him there. And
yeah, to be honest, it's quite risky to go for the middle right away, right?
Yeah.
You don't know anything.
And the dock could be a little bit further for Mihai, but this is kind of along the lines of what I was saying. Just kind of back up initially with your galleys if you're going to go for galleys.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. I mean, they could also start with 2 fires, for example, and then go galleys. Okay, I think Vinch is doing... Is this either forward dock or is this some kind of sneak?
It's got to be... I think it might be double forward dock here.
Yeah.
This reminds me of what Nikov did against Hera. He had a dock on either side of the crossing. But maybe... I don't know. He's walking pretty far. Okay, he goes 1 dock. And then he's going to see the houses, so he knows Mihai might be there.
I like the preemptive wall from Mihai on the left, though. Very nice.
Yeah, just in case. Mihai will see the Vil. His other Vil is abandoned in the middle. And it's going to be another dock. This build is crazy. I remember being mind blown when Nikov did it. And it only really works with the Dravidians, because you can't justify going for these docks if you don't get the extra 200 wood when you make it to feudal.
I'm curious why Vinch is still 2 on food. Like, he has a lot of food banked up here instead of going more on wood. Like, only 9 on wood is quite a small amount, even though he's Dravidians.
Yeah. Nikov in my chat says I have copyright to this build. Well, don't worry. Vinchester will give you credit at the end, Nikov. All right, so let's see. But the difference here is, like, Hera was completely surprised by it, and his docks were fully surrounded. Here, Mihai actually has an area he can mass up in. Yeah. So this could actually be good for Mihai, especially if he kills that Vil there. Super close, but he has his own Vil, and he could fight that maybe.
Yeah. Vinch actually did loom as well before he clicked up.
Yeah. Well,
so I guess he was a bit off with the food timing potentially. I mean, usually you don't want to make it in Dark Age, I suppose, but
yeah. I mean,
then again, he did send 2 Vils forward, so I guess he wanted the safety.
Yeah, if you go 2 Vils forward and then your opponent is in the middle and you don't have loom, it's probably an issue.
Yeah, unless you're Viper or something, then it doesn't matter.
Or you.
Just wall them in. Yeah, but yeah. But my eco at home is crap.
Well, already you're seeing the pressure from the fires add up.
Yeah.
It is better than what we had seen in some of the other games so far. But
blocking that 1 galley.
This is beautiful play from Vinch, and he's got Mihai kind of cornered here. Mihai needs to get up to 6 or 7 galleys. When he gets to 6 or 7 galleys, though, the fires are going to start to disappear pretty quickly.
But I don't think Mihai is unhappy with his position right now. Like, he is under pressure, but he has all the fish alive. He's massing the galleys.
Yep, I think considering momentum is such an important factor here, I think Mihai really needs this game.
Yep.
This would be a really nice one for him. And he's played it nicely. He did lose the 1 galley, but think about all the weak fires that Vinchester has off screen right now. Vinchester has to repair those. Those could potentially get sniped anyways. And Mihai, without fletching, has kept his fish alive. He's going to kill another fire galley here in a second. And Vinch is going to have to be a little creative now against the galley mass.
Slight issue for Vinch with having 2 docks forward is that he can't position his fish on those forward docks very safely. So he has to take shore fish at home right now.
Is this already warning signs for Vinch? In his mind, is he thinking, I'm losing water 100%? Or does he still think he could actually compete here?
I mean, he kind of shouldn't be able to compete entirely, but he can still move around and be annoying, right? He should probably try to snipe some fish and move around, make Mihai like micro and overinvest. And then go faster castlage, right? And then take it back with fire ships, I would say.
Okay.
But I mean, when you have this many galleys, technically you shouldn't be able to kill them with just fires, right?
Is it...
Unless Mihai messes up.
I mean, clearly you could tell Vinch is just trying to avoid this and just wait till castle. So is it worth it to switch into some fires now if you're Mihai to take out docks faster? Or should you just
I think yes.
Okay.
I think like 3 fires, they're also so good in the fights, right? They tank so much of the damage from the other fires.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, personally.
Okay. Well, it's so
like,
interesting.
It's really not a big difference having 10 galleys or 15, right? Like you still destroy the fires anyway. So
okay. Well,
here we see the classic fire versus galley, right? Like Vinch will click up soon, and Mihai is not even close.
Yeah, I think Mihai is just he's thinking that you can do no wrong with more galleys. Yes, it will take down docks a little bit slower, but it's just going to help him dominate the fights. So it's kind of understandable. He doesn't have anything going on in the middle. He just has the outpost there. So he's going to also think that he could eventually go to the middle if he is dominating the water. So,
but okay, I really think strongly about this though. Like if you do this and you know the enemy will do fire ships in castle, you really need that fire ship meat shield from the feudal age player. Like I think it's really important. You really tank so much from the fire ships, and you have the DPS backline.
On other maps, I've had the same opinion. Like Graupel's a little bit more clear because you don't see near as much water investment. Yep. But I always feel like the second you get into this position as the galley player and you're just trying to take your opponent's docks down, you have to have your own fires because it eats up the docks so much faster. Like you look at the time Vinch is buying for himself right now on both sides. He's sitting in the docks, then he just backs away. And Mihai still isn't clicked up. Res collected's pretty good for Vinchester. He also hasn't lost any of his fish, which is actually pretty incredible. Yep. The fact that he's been fish booming behind this is crazy. Not really fish booming, but...
This map is quite nice as well. You can kind of add 2TC quite fast as well, just on those short fish to sustain yourself. Yep. You don't need like super big food eco to sustain them with the short fish there.
I guess
and Dravidian is even better.
The main thing in my mind now is like, are we going to look back at not adding the fires as a misplay for Mihai, or is the galley mass going to be so big that he's going to be more than comfortable? This is a really fast uptime for Vinchester here.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he's not adding fires. Like Mihai is the guy that I played so much with on like island types of maps where he had this galley mass and always switched to fires to have meat shields against other fires. Like it's so strong. Because you really can't get onto the galleys if there's a lot of fires in front or occasional demo.
Yeah, so now you're forced to get really big demos. Yeah. Because you're out of the fear of it. So he's gonna immediately queues up a bunch of demos. Vinch is up. Vinch dropping a second TC.
I didn't have Vitex. That kind of hurts, but it was a tight build, so it's forgivable.
Here comes Vinch. The demo landing before Vinch gets the upgraded fires would be sick, but Vinch is gonna have 11 fires on the field.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of fires.
Not sure how much careening does, but imagine sneaking that in. I'm not actually sure if it's good even, but
might be really tough to afford, honestly.
No.
Okay, so you're running into a choke point here, which could be really tricky if the demos pop. There's only one demo, though. Mihai cannot run away. This used to be a safe space.
and Mihai is still adding galleys, right? That doesn't feel right. But let's see.
Let's see. I mean, his micro's been pretty good. The KD's been good. The demos get some decent enough hits. Puts him under a lot of pressure here, but he will defend this, yeah.
Perfect play by Mihai, like we said all the time.
Yeah, I think if this galley mass stays alive for another 60 seconds, I think then Vinch has some really awkward situations he's going to face. Because he will probably lose his docks.
And TC in the middle, right? So he kind of has all the objectives he wants, except for the water control.
Yeah.
Which is still contested somewhat, even though Mihai is winning it.
Yeah, I really like Vinchester's macro today. It feels like that's been the theme. It's like Vinch, faster to the TCs, faster to the eco, and just enough resistance against whatever Mihai's opening with.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Vinch is usually known for his micro, right? But his macro is actually really good behind that as well. So.
Yeah, agree with you there. I think it's important that Mihai knows about that TC in the middle. So that's going to be in his mind in terms of how he addresses this. He's going to stone right now, so he'll think about winning water and then probably dropping a castle in the mid. And Vinch might be thinking, what is he going to do about me being here? So he's dropping an outpost too, which also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think Vinch is giving up water, though. He's not producing any more ships.
Yep.
So he's probably going to lose water. And there are the fires we were asking for from Mihai. How do you play this in Vinchester? You're going to lose water? Do you just plan on a castle in the middle before your opponent?
So.
Okay.
I think you just boom, castle, go imp, and then fast fires or something.
It's going to be... It could be really tough to get back on water, though. Because if you're going to place a castle, your castle's going to be in the middle. It's not going to be on the shoreline.
Yeah. But what else can you really do at this point? You could have some kind of sneak on Mihai's side, but then you had to prepare that earlier. For now, he's content with just having an eco lead, expanding it a bit, and then playing for water later, I suppose.
I think this Siege Workshop from Vinchester is a huge move. Because you know you probably have the eco lead. You know water's dead. And the likelihood that Mihai comes forward to drop a castle is pretty high. So now...
I would like Vinch to kill that outpost, by the way, from Mihai on the middle. That's so much vision.
Oh, okay.
Sees everything.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean... The presence of the outpost and him seeing a flag on the Siege Workshop does so much to discourage. Yeah. He could add fishing ships right now.
Barracks. He might do a stable or something.
Stable for a knight, maybe, to snipe any siege, so he could still drop the castle. I mean, if the Mangonel's out of the Siege Workshop, it could be pretty bad for Vinch.
Yeah.
But Vinchester's economy, really good. Yet another game here where... He's got good economy, but in the previous game, he had, like, great map control. Now his starting TC is going to go down to these war galleys, which is a big issue.
This might just come down to whether Mihai can get the castle in the middle, right? Like, he will do a few knights and then send all the vills to do a castle in the middle. If that's get up, I think he will win the game. If not, then we will see.
Still kind of curious. I mean, Vinch losing the TC will hurt.
Yeah.
So he'll only be on 2 TCs. I guess he's adding another now. And if Mihai is correctly patrolling the shorelines, which is tough to do right now because there's other things to attack, it should be near impossible for Vinchester to be able to get more docks down, even if he's an imp.
Yeah, he might have to bank for a second castle to get those docks up.
Dude, the knights are on the way out of the stable, and Vinch has his Mangonel out in the open here.
Well, if he's lucky with timing, he can buy a castle and just put it right there now, and that would be really good for Vinch.
Yeah, true. There's
nothing.
nothing.
Not the timings here.
Yeah. And game sense from Vinchester, right? Like that.
Yeah.
He's shown his opponent the siege. He knew his opponent would probably try and come to the middle. Is he sensing that he's vulnerable?
I think he is.
That's what players always have to think about. It's like, what would I do in his position? Here comes the knight.
Here is insane.
Here comes the knight. Vinchester hasn't dropped the castle yet. He's going to drop it there.
Oof.
I'm not sure I like this. I think he's got a bail on this, right? He quick walls. The knight goes through. I think war galleys can range the vills as well. The siege is going to go down. This is disastrous for Vinchester right now. And now Mihai should send the boys.
Yeah.
Here they come. So even if Vinchester gets his own castle up, Mihai can get a castle right next to it in the middle, and oh man, Vinch is falling apart.
Oh no.
Things get very interesting here, Ganji.
Mihai transported the vills on the right side. Will he...
What?
What's happening here? But he should do the castle in the middle, no? But then again, he won't be able to get faster to him. Okay.
A castle on the outside is what the viewers want, dude.
Okay.
The castle on the outside on the TC would definitely be what the viewers want, and there he goes! Oh, crap.
Vinch instantly notices, though.
Okay.
I mean, it's all well and good, but it's kind of all about the middle at some point,
well,
though.
Yeah, but you got to go imp in TCs. Yeah. 2 of your TCs are going to go down. You have no defense for knights. Mihai's just passing through with knights into Vinchester's eco. Vinch is going to have a couple random monks. Like, a lot of things can go wrong here if you're Vinchester.
I feel like things already have gone wrong with that castle being the knight. That was such a crazy moment. Like, three more tiles up towards the hill and they wall them in. He's in a very good spot.
Yeah, this is just... I mean, game plan's a little bit out the window. This is just straight adaptation and chaos now. Yep. Even a couple Genoese crossbowmen out of the castle I wouldn't hate. Ranged units being out to help with any monks would be super helpful. What in the world?
Now Mihai is stealing his food on that land.
Yep.
The boar, some shorefish.
I mean, there is some stone pretty close by too, so Mihai could maybe take that. But he's scared to move in now because of the monk, and Vinch is going to drop another castle. That's a really good castle from Vinch. It feels like Imp is key right now.
Oh, castle in the middle. It's also quite risky. I mean, it could be a Mangonel popping any second. And
Yeah.
there's only one knight there.
Also, walls are needed here. There's some Yurumis here. And Mihai's castle is going to get denied. He has to bail on it. Oh, man.
It looks like both are very much improvising right now, which is extremely hard in this game.
Yeah, you got to delete that castle right now if you're Mihai. And I think he's going to want a castle further into Vinch's base, which is going to be kind of tricky to justify if Vinchester has his own castle. But maybe right next to where the TC is, honestly. He did delete the castle, but he doesn't have enough stone for another one right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he necessarily has the best place for another one right now either.
Yeah, where would you even build it?
I mean, I would be...
Selling the stone and go up?
Yeah, actually. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
With his resources right now, sell the stone, go up, and you hope this one castle brings you enough trebs. You still have water control.
Yeah, you don't really need castle for middle, right? You could do cannon galleons.
Yep.
It is Italians after all. Like, everything is super cheap to upgrade.
Is he going to
He's
convert?
converting the armored elephants.
This is... What a game, dude. This was so well calculated and smooth. And then ever since Vinchester's castle got denied, it's just become crazy. Yeah.
I love these games. I mean, not really to play them, but to watch is pretty fun.
Yeah.
The play is also kind of fun, but it's also super stressful.
Certain players are better in these situations. And I would say... Normally, I would say that Vinchester's probably a little bit better at being more adaptive. I think Mihai's probably better at just the initial builds and just straight execution stuff.
Yeah.
And Vinch is up. Vinch is going to try and redock, and he's dropping a very important castle on the left because that can protect his docks. He's building with a lot of vills, but he has been spotted. I think this castle eventually goes up, though, for Vinchester.
Yep. Looks like it. Actually, only lost one vill.
Yeah, it's actually insane. It feels like the war galleys missed a lot there, and now Mihai needs to back away. Oh, man. Mihai, he's up against 3 castles from his opponent. He just has 1. He has no gold and stone control in the middle. Vinchester's collected 8,000 more resources. Feels like...
Wow.
As long as Vinch gets some water threat with a couple trebs, feels like Vinch is in a great position here.
Yeah, Mihai only has 2k2 gold. That's it.
Yeah, and there's no gold he can take on Vinchester's side. He's gonna add more docks now. Could sell food, which could be nice. Get a couple relics, but I mean relics. Vinch could get relics as well. I don't think relics are going to be enough to carry you in this game.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, he will get shipwright, which is quite nice for Italians there.
There was a game. Oh, it was Mihai versus Tato actually. Okay, so there was a galley example. Mihai was Armenians. He was down by 50 vills, and he didn't have the middle, and he got like 40 galleons, and Tato was Romans, so Romans are not very good on water.
Yeah.
And even though Tato collected 20,000 more resources, it took him till like 90 minutes or maybe not 90, maybe 70 minutes in the game to win. So straight galleons with cannon galleons could still change it here. I think that's the only thing that can change it for Mihai, though, is the Navy.
Yeah, I agree.
Can he get there? I think his castle is most likely going to be trapped down on Vinchester's island or side. Vinchester's adding ranges now for some skirms or something there too.
Verisedai from Vinchester. That actually hard counters Galleon.
What?
So Mihai will actually have to go fast fires here, and quite a lot of them, because I think, if I remember correctly, Galleons get absolutely destroyed by those.
Okay, I honestly haven't seen it enough. So you tell me.
Well, it's quite rare, because like versus those, you just have fast fire Galleon combo, and it's usually good. But pure Galleon get destroyed by those.
These are just...
They look so cool as well.
These are just some big boats, dude.
Yeah.
These are the chonkers of the sea. They're shooting spears right now.
It's crazy how they don't get beached. Like 4 of them can barely fit in the corridor.
So they're 10 pierce armor, which I think should make them very good against the galleons. Yep. Because max attack
Way
for
more
galleons
HP
is
as well.
12, so they just take 2 damage. They are very costly from what I know. but Vinch has the eco lead. So I would have probably gone fast fires here. I would have never made this ship.
Yep, me too. I don't trust this ship.
Yeah, but, I don't have enough information to know how strong it is, but Vinchester is gonna show us right now. He's gonna have 15 of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 140 vills, you might as well go for the most expensive ship in the game, right?
Yeah.
Except for Turtle. I don't know.
I think turtle ships are a little bit more expensive. Yeah, now against the fast fires,
those as well, so.
Against the fast fires, they seem to struggle a little, but still you can hit and run.
Do they still shoot 3 projectiles, right?
Yeah.
So I guess.
What a good castle from Vinchester.
Yeah.
He's got the stone. Why not build a castle there? It helps with the attack so much. Would love to see heated shot. Vinch is also trebbing down the castle from Mihai on his side. We also have random Yurumi swordsman running into Mihai's land. And yeah, Mihai just... Yet again, he's been out-boomed. And maybe even out-strategized here from Vinchester. Vinchester's just flooding the water with Theresidae right now. What in the world?
And Mihai has 300 gold. That's it.
Do Dravidians get heavy demo?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, they do.
They do. Okay. I think a couple demos in front could also be good if the fires become a problem.
It was a complete guess, but I think it's right.
Yeah, they do. I just checked. I brought you in for the tech tree knowledge, you know? Did I not tell you that?
I'm not as confident here because the chat will call you out instantly if you get anything wrong, you know?
No, it doesn't sound like Twitch chat at all.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Mihai's going to fight on. But, yep, he's going to be out of gold. He's got no control. The Theresidae are everywhere. There's only 20 of them. It feels like he's got 50 with how much of the screen they're covering. But I think Mihai just simply can't afford to go on. And even if he could, even if he had an extra 1,000 gold, I don't think he has the Navy to compete. And what a nice opening there from Vinchester. To me, the key moment of the game was when Mihai had enough galleys and he couldn't push down those docks. Vinchester had a lot of time to kind of hang around on water and boom. And then Mihai, because he hadn't taken out the docks, just needed to continue to invest in the water. Felt like a little bit of an overinvestment. Whereas Vinchester, he knew he could rely on the boom. And also, the vills in the middle were a pretty big issue. There was just 2 vills there from Vinch.
Yeah.
Mihai was never able to get any contest there.
Again, I think Vinch is playing extremely well. Like, I think the balance between going heavy water and going, like... I felt like he committed about as much as he should have.
Yeah.
Pretty much, exactly. And then he boomed behind it, and yeah.
Every nice game that we've seen from Vinch, this series, the previous series, seems so well calculated. He opens up with the right amount of pressure, and then he braces himself for the threat to come, right?
Seems like he knows his win conditions. Like, it doesn't rush anything. He just plays it slow, calculated, and he knows what to do.
Also, I think another big moment in that game was the castle position for Mihai. And I wonder if he's regretting now. Like, I think if he, after denying Vinch's castle, I think even if Vinch gets his own castle up, Vinch's castle's on the left of the middle. I think that Mihai needed to try the castle in the middle. Take some of the stone, take some of the gold.
I think you have to just force a fast imp from that point.
Like,
yeah. Get castle in middle, force fast imp. Just take control over the water. Even if you only have 70 vills, you can do a lot of ships with that. And as long as Vinch can't get back on water, you should still be in a good spot. Yeah,
I think maybe the logic there is when you're in that position, you need to make the decision right then, right?
Yeah.
And so
extremely hard.
When he saw Vinch had enough for a castle and already had the vills in the middle, what he didn't want was to run in the middle and then have his castle be denied by Vinch's. But considering the positioning there and like the amount of openings for castles, it is actually kind of difficult for Vinch's castles to ever deny Mihai's. He did have the knights. I think maybe that's what he's got to do. But sometimes games come down to very specific moments where you have to take advantage of. So far, Mihai hasn't been able to have many opportunities. And then if there was one, Vinchester just seems to be fully prepared. So well played from Vinch. Vinch up 2-0 here. Ganji, is the curse real, bro?
I'm a little bit nervous. I'll message Vinch after the next game to throw or something.
We've got Vinch and Mihai both countering the middle. This is #1 pick from Vinch Georgians. This is #2 pick from Mihai. This would be a nice momentum swing for Mihai. You win this game, which is like most important first and foremost. But then you also, eliminate Vinch's #1 pick.
Yeah. Do you like Georgians this map?
I don't think they're like #1 pick worthy necessarily. I think Persians actually maybe are better. I think certainly Huns are better, or Mongols.
Yeah, I know you love your Huns here.
But I mean, those civs were banned, so they weren't an option. I just don't know. Like, does the free mule cart actually help you a ton here? You can't collect the buffalo with them. You can scout a little bit on the outside, and it is a free lumber camp essentially. But
yeah, I like Persia way more. I think Jordans are just better for other maps though.
Yeah.
Like even Inundation, Jordans are great. I think even Pizza you can do them on.
Yeah.
Even Stranded, I think. Hey, but hey, what do I know? Vinchester after all.
Yeah.
Something planned.
I mean,
it's a good save overall. It's not a problem. But
yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just the Georgians are so strong on other maps. That's why we're questioning it. But they're not bad here, right? They're still probably top 10 at the very least if we were to make a list. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just want to mention again, Vinchester does this take Rhino early thing again, and not prioritizing the first fishing ship. Like Mihai already has this out. I know it's Persia, but still he has everything on wood earlier.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. And maybe it's a little bit easier for Mihai, though, because he starts with the extra wood and the extra food.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Persians, if you're a beginner out there and you want a civ, really on any map, to just practice with, play with, Persians are great. I feel like if you play with Persians too much, you might get a little used to the extra food as a beginner. And other civs might not feel the same, but the extra resources really make life easy for you.
Definitely. The only hard part about Persia is in Castlage when you add TCs and realize I can't make any army because the vills are popping out so fast and I need to spend all the food on vills.
That's a genuine thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad we brought that up because I think because Persian TCs produce so fast, I really think delaying the third TC is important. And I think it's not something a lot of people are doing. And I've seen people get stuck so many times where they get the 3 TCs, but then they just can't field any knights at the same time. It's really tricky.
It's a weird feeling because you know you have better echo than your opponent, but still it feels so bad.
Yep.
Because you have to spend the food much faster than the opponent has to do it. It's quite a weird feeling, but
yeah, I like it. I think it's a fun thing to talk about. Because usually more TCs is I mean, obviously it's a positive to get more vills, but it does kind of hurt you as well. So Mihai, 3 fishing ships, and he's running out of the straggler trees now. So he's going to have to go out to plan for a lumber camp. He's already scouted with his buffalo on the outside. He's found a good wood line to take. So that shouldn't be a problem. And another game where I'm expecting galleys from Mihai, because we've seen a lot of that on this map.
I think so as well. I hope this doesn't I hope it's not a CA war in Castlage between Persia and Georgians. That would hurt my heart a little bit.
Why would it hurt your heart?
I don't know. I don't like CAs with civs that suck with it, but
I think Georgian CA is really good. I think because the regenerating cav is insane. There's a lot of people who think it shouldn't apply to feudal age. We don't need to dive in that whole thing, but
yeah, I mean, but they don't have thumb ring, right? Which kind of hurts for later. But you just use them for Castlage anyway. Then they don't have +4 in imp with armor, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, if you are Persians and you really want to boom, going CA might help because you're not spending food on knights then. And so you can go 3 TCs and produce cav archers. I think it's really good for the boom if you want to still have some map control.
Sure.
Well, meta is somewhat figured out at this point. It's somewhat established. We see a lot of galleys. I think the galleys are so strong that you do probably need to incorporate some of your own, or you could still go for the fires and make it messy. But I guess we'll see. That's a lot of buffalo for Mihai. Holy crap. He's got 7 buffalo to bring underneath his TC for later on.
Yeah, very fast uptime by Vinchester as well. Since he only did the dock as a second building and he already had a mule cart, right? So
yeah, true.
Very nice.
Yep, builds another mule cart onto the golds. I like Mihai's area. If Mihai ever needs to wall, there's a lot more wood around him to wall in a circle. And Vinch is quite open there, so that could be tricky when it comes to land.
Yeah, just gotta make sure you don't have holes in those wood lines. It's quite hard to notice in the real game.
Yeah, acacia trees are just not fun to deal with.
Yeah.
I do think there's like some weird balance to it though, because acacia trees have 150 wood. So yes, you're more likely to have a hole in your wood line, but you get...
Well, it just means you have to check it more like frequently and more carefully, right? Like it's still perfectly fine to wall it up. Just you need to be extra careful.
Wow, so Vinch is up pretty quick. He'll go for galleys, but he couldn't afford the second galley yet. So his build is definitely at the limit. And then you have 2 docks from Mihai, and he can immediately produce 2 galleys. So Mihai is more than fine. And now that you're in Feudal Age, the TC produces even slightly faster for Persians. So if this is even, it should be advantage to Persians as the Feudal Age goes on.
Yeah, and 2-dock Persia will just outproduce 2-dock anything else. So it's also very nice. You don't have to invest into 3rd-dock if you want to have a lead. And Persia is just so good here. Like, you have all the good bonuses that you need.
The amount of times I've seen people, as Mihai gets pretty housed here, he's got to fix that. The amount of times I've seen people just pray for a Persian douche on this map when we see Persians is so funny.
Yeah.
Imagine if you win water, though. Like, if you win water fully in Feudal, it might be a little bit meme, but TC dropping, the TC is epic because then they can't run away.
Yeah, man, sure.
Too bad Rubenstock in his prime wasn't playing in this tournament. He would have definitely done it.
Yeah. It's definitely tempting with Persia there, with the TC so close.
Yeah. And by the way, the rule is the starting TCs can't be touching each other. That's an admin so it's not allowed to intentionally.
Oh yeah, I know about that one. We did a few restarts in the beginning of the tournament.
Oh man, I was so happy that you and Lix were so respectful about the whole thing. So thanks for that, because some people are a little bit less understanding. So
I mean, when we exited out of the game, like the society stats, I was like 3 vills ahead for no real reason, right? That's just unfair and wouldn't be a fun way to end it. Let's say.
It's definitely one of those things we looked at the maps ahead of time. We're like, okay, everything's pretty good, and then with Boundary Brawl, we realized we had to tweak it. So it's in a good spot now.
Yep.
And Galley War continues.
Yeah, no, you won't have pictures at all.
So this is going to be, I mean, this is quite the commitment to galleys. And because neither player has taken a big lead in the numbers, I think it only means more galleys from here, in all honesty.
Well, the thing is, no one has taken a lead, which means Persia's just way ahead, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, he has 3 more vills already. Just quite a bit. Or like
and the Buffalo all saved underneath the TC. Vinch is taking all the hunt, though, which is nice.
Yeah.
It is a little inefficient, but it's still quite a lot of food for him to be able to take there.
Yeah, definitely.
Fletching's in for Mihai. I mean, this is where I think Mihai shines.
Yep.
Both trying to out-execute the opponent with the same type of builds. We have not had that in game number 1 and game number 2, and I noticed Vinchester didn't move there when I would normally expect that. So I think there was lag. Yeah, oh man, and that really hurts Vinch.
Oh my god, that hurts.
That hurts. You could just kind of tell that maybe he lost his control of his units there for a moment, and there's not much to really do about it. Mihai's just going to jump on him. I think he was going to jump on him anyways, and Vinch is just going to lose water here.
Yep.
Completely off of water. This is exactly what Mihai needed.
Let's go, Mihai. Curse is broken, maybe. Don't want to jinx.
Yeah. So the curse, chat, is the last 2 times, maybe 3 times. Has it been 3 times? Or 2?
At least 2 that I remember.
Okay, last 2 times that Ganji's been into cast, it's been a sweep. And so when we were seeing the 2-0 for Vinch, we were a little concerned. Okay, same situation as the previous game, though, Ganji. I think now you need to make fires to take out docks.
Yep.
So you go 9 galleys, you make even just 2 fires. Super nice. That way you can pressure the docks. Vinchester knows he's losing water. He's sending 5 vills to the left side. Did Mihai spot that? What a weird angle to go to with villagers.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he didn't want to go straight up to the wood since there are galleys there.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah,
those
yeah.
might just be
true.
choppers or whatever. I'm not sure if that's going to be anything offensive. I mean, but he might feel like he needs to. I don't know.
Yeah, that was my thinking, but I think what you said is correct. If there's galleys there, he can't go anywhere else. I mean, he could barely take his berries now. I think he's trying to make another run for it with Vils. Vinch is in trouble right now. There's no other way to put it.
It's easy to forget that it is all visible in the middle, so you can't really sneak those very efficiently.
Yeah.
Should Mihai maybe make a tower here? Yeah. On the berries.
Mihai notices all the Vils are trapped. And so the tower on the berries is going up.
I like that.
That's a really good tower.
Well, there's another berries as well. If Mihai walls in the berries on the left, that would be great. Because he has the galleys on the other one.
This is kind of a rough situation. If Vinch loses this game, he just is going to feel like he threw away his #1 pick.
Yeah.
And then there's still... I mean, Georgians are still really strong on other maps, and Mihai has that available. Mihai's going to click up to castle, just needs a little bit more gold. He's up already. And then Vinchester has 0 on food. The only thing he has on food are these villagers walking to a zebra right now.
Yeah.
Disaster for Vinch.
He does have the Boar Vils in the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, true. I do feel for him because it is clear there was some lag there.
Yeah.
I also do think that while that was really unfortunate,
anyway.
I think Mihai was probably in a really good position anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe it helps your mental a little bit if you can just say it was lag though. You just be like, it wasn't me. It was just lag. Stupid internet.
Yeah, it also helped my mental that it might not be a 4-0. Very nice.
It's true.
That's what we like to see.
I mean, this is... I'm trying to think about the maps. Like, this is really good momentum for Mihai, and I think the upcoming maps are pretty good for him. I think Golden Hill, I would have always favored Vinch. Standard Nomad, I would have always favored Vinch. But, like, Inundation, I've been pretty impressed with Mihai's play. I think Mired is extremely crazy and can go either way, just depending on the micro battles. It's best of 7.
Don't you think Mihai's first pick, Pizza, is more of a Vinchester map, though? I thought so.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a Vinch map, but I think.
But if he has something prepared, it can be super strong as well.
Yeah,
that map is definitely not figured out. Let's say.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to figure that one out.
Yeah, I agree. So this game, not nearly as close or as exciting as some of the other Boundary Brawl games we've seen.
Domination by Mihai.
Completely stomps him, yeah. And honestly, for Vinch, maybe a couple question marks on the Civ choice, but maybe just the opening as well. Like, if it's the same opening, Persian TCs and docks are just better. And also, Mihai did the small things,
he tried to go for that super fast uptime, right? Like the 18 pop up, but even if you're slightly faster, Persia has faster uptime as well, and the faster docks, it's hard to get anything done with that.
Yep.
And then Persia is just much stronger.
Mihai gets a win on the board. Mihai, no one thought he was going to do it against Tato, right? And it was a long fight, but he ended up winning that one 3-2. So obviously needed that one. I don't think there's any world where he was going to beat Vinchester in 4 straight games today.
Yeah.
But Vinch, probably can shake that one off a little bit too. I mean, this map has been banned a ton, but we did see it yesterday in ACCM Viper. Now we're seeing it here, and we're just wondering where the TC spots would be. I think the meta is becoming you don't TC the food area for a lot of these guys, and Vinch, his Vils spawned pretty far compared to Mihai, so he's got to walk, and he will TC this woodline here. It's a repeat.
Yeah, I mean, I understand not teasing the food area, but if both don't tease the food area, it's going to be hard to get food, because there's not that many elephants and ostrich on the top.
Yep.
Like, if both are there, they're both going to take every bit of food there is, so...
Yeah, so it's the same thing as yesterday. So yesterday, for those who didn't catch it, and by the way, here comes Mihai walking by.
But he's not allowed to do anything, right? It's too early.
Until TCs are up, but there's no way for him to know if his opponent's TC is up. Actually, there is, because he saw it.
Yeah, well then.
But yeah, so yesterday, Viper and ACCM did the exact same thing, and the scenario you described happened. So it became an elephant race, because if one person TCs here, there's 4 or 5 elephants, they've got more than enough food, but now they need to get the elephants. So Mihai's out there already looking for one.
Oh, he just missed it.
He got the free meal cart, and he just missed that elephant right next to Vinchester CC. Wow.
That would be huge to take that one. You can even block like the lures with the mule cart, right? Like,
yeah.
For your own builds, but also for the enemies. So.
Vinch killed Boar to start the series. I was a little nervous. He gets that done. I mean, Vinch's TC was so late because he wanted the TC here, and his Vills started in the north. So that's bad for him, but I think it evens out by the fact that he gets the elephant right away.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game. Like, this is not the typical start, so to speak. Like, both are so close to each other. Like, do you still go a drush on the top, for example, to kill the food Vills, or not? Because if you do that, and the other guy just FCs, he might just kill you.
Yeah.
Or even fast feudal, like tower and archers, right?
I also think it's kind of important that Mihai's got the gold right next to his TC. And Vinch, his golds are a bit further away. There's also the stone right underneath Mihai's TC, which is super nice.
I mean, one tower there, like whoever gets up first and gets a tower there should be a decent spot as well.
Look at this. Oh, dude, the mule cart is blocking.
Yeah,
the mule cart is blocking Vinch's villager as Vinch is going up probably just to get some sheep, but definitely looking for the elephant. It would be really broken if you could steal sheep with the mule cart.
Yeah.
So.
Luring away the villager.
Yeah, he's going to find the elephant as well, but will Mihai be able to bring it that whole distance?
This is where you need to play BF. A palisade. Just keep going.
Well, hold on. Vinchester's also going to try and get this elephant. So they're both going to have their work cut out for them. And Vinch, I think, sees the other one on screen as well. Dude, Ganji, this is
such a messy game. Holy shit. This map, man.
This is a Black Forest player's dream right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Mihai's gonna...
Mihai, block.
Mihai's blocking with the mule cart.
The board.
Rhino's running back for Mihai. Now the elephant is going after the mule cart.
Oh, 6 save by Vinch.
Yeah, really 6 save. And he should get that now because he's super close to the TC.
But this is where you get housed, you stop making vills, like everything falls apart when you do all this micro shit.
Yeah, he gets it though.
But they're doing it well. Even both of them did a drush on the top and like microing it. Like that's crazy.
What? They both.
Dude, that's insane.
That's insane timing. Look at this fight.
Yeah.
It's an even fight. Look at this.
It's an even fight.
Look at this. Wow. I mean, the fact that they both had drush timing combined with all that's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's honestly super well played.
Well,
and no one lost anything. That's crazy.
Yeah, no one lost anything. They might want to go to gold and make more militia now.
Yeah.
So Mihai's doing that.
Mihai can never click up if he does that though, because he didn't get the board. Like Vinch got 3 now.
Yeah, true.
I think Mihai only got 1, right?
I think he did, but he does have his mule cart already on some deer.
Yeah.
And if you killed 2 vills on the other side and still have the hunt, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Also, Vinch didn't chop through as fast. That's one detail that was different here. He will get through. I don't think it's hugely important to cut through right now, but...
But can't Mihai also wall him in on that little point? Could be worth it.
You mean like wall the other side of the mule cart?
Yeah.
No, the TC range, I think, would be a problem.
Okay, yeah, true.
That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So, we're running a community tournament, right? Over 300 signups. We have all these different elos involved. Here comes the Drushes again. They both had the same idea. But, I don't know the exact elo, the screenshot I was sent. But there was a game where someone started their TC somewhere, and then they saw the opponent TC this little narrow wood line, and he was Persian, so he TC dropped from the other side.
Oh, that's funny.
So
can't even take wood then.
Yeah. So the other guy couldn't take wood, and then his TC got shot down, and it was just a massive mess. It was super funny.
Yeah, this is what fun with this map. You can do whatever you want.
We've never seen this before. It's going to be 4 militia for Mihai. But to your point, Mihai doing this means he's not really going to be able to go to feudal age as quickly.
Yeah.
So it's imperative, I'd say, that he kills these vills. If you make 4 militia here and you don't kill the vills, it's going to be frustrating.
Yeah, and if Vinch spots them, at least he can wall them in.
Vinch is also making more militia himself. So if Vinch is up.
He's probably fine.
And Vinch...
Good man-at-arms up there.
Yeah, like, absolutely. They might even consider an archer range up here. Again, it's like, how much do you want to invest to just kill 2 vills, though, when you're still next-door neighbors to your opponent?
these are nice meals the boys are making, like completely in nowhere's land, just for farms. Or like just for the upbuilding or the market or whatever. But
yeah. I mean, really impressive play from both, in all honesty. They've made it look easy. This is incredibly difficult to play.
Yeah.
And a lot of high-level AoE is a fair amount of repetition and learning from experience. So I know they played practice games, but it's not as though they have 1,000+ games on maps like this to really get a
these
feel.
maps are like way more dynamic than many other maps. Like there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yep. And they've both been pretty good. Militia engaging awkwardly for Mihai, but he has the numbers. He'll take the fight, especially because he thinks Vinchester might go for man-at-arms. He'll take the fight, and he will win that fight. And range from Vinch on the left side. So he actually should go for a wall, in my opinion, to stop Mihai from entering further into that section.
Yeah.
And Mihai also walling. It's super helpful for Mihai that he has that gold. If he did not have that gold underneath the TC, he would be denied of so much map control.
Yeah, Vinch spotted the Vils on the left, in the left quadrant. They're going somewhere else. Not sure if he's gonna hunt them down or not.
Well, he might want to take Hunt or Stone. Vinch also has walled in his 2 Vils in the food area to chop trees. So the militia will probably do very little. And Mihai is like looking everywhere for them right now with the militia. Yeah. This is so funny.
The top Vils for Mihai is the only food he's getting right now, though. Oh, now he's getting in the bottom part as well.
Yeah, true. So they're both hunting for Vils right now with different units. And a tower now from Vinch. That's an interesting tower, but it does deny the stone.
I think Mihai should make a tower in the range of that tower and the goal. Like,
ooh, yeah.
Then just put archers in them.
That's sick. Yeah, I think his tower is within range of Vinch's tower, but the Vils, at least in the corner, should still be able to build this without going down if he's careful.
Yep.
And Vinch has an archer go down to the TC. Oh, man, there's so many things to manage right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The Drush has found the mule cart, so we have that to pay attention to. And then we have a range from Mihai as he's been found by Vinchester. What in the world is happening right now?
The beauty of this map.
There's a guy, I don't remember his username, but every single Reddit thread where Wandering Warriors Cup has been mentioned, he's so pro pizza that he will base who he's rooting for based around who has picked pizza. And he literally, like, all his comment people are like, what a great tournament so far. What a great this so far. He just goes, yeah, I really hope, like, Leary loses because he's banned pizza the last 2 times. It's just, it's so funny.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, people...
Right, the top, the Drush is brutalizing the Vils.
Oh, yeah, okay. So those 2 Vils will die. Finally, right? And nice job from Mihai. Mihai has kept his other Vils. I guess maybe he lost 1 of the hunt in the stone area, but he's got some skirms there. And this tower is threatening Vinch's tower, too.
Yeah.
What a crazy game. This is... Also, even though the TC positions were so similar compared to Viper ACCM, this game is playing out so differently than that game was.
Yep.
Drushes. We've got archers. I think it's hilarious how Mihai made a spearman to try and defend from scouts, but he can't get the spearman to where the scouts are going to be.
That's such a big mistake you do on these types of maps, right? Where you're not connected. You actually make the... You just instinctively make the spearman because you think, okay, well, I have my barracks in my eco, right? But no, actually, it's on the other side of the map. But Mihai sneaking those rests on the top is actually quite big.
Yeah.
Like on the right half, he's sneaking down on the top. Should go on stone with those, though, I think.
He might eventually... Mihai might eventually chop through those trees there on the left, too, to open that up. So he would have access to every section. Oh, and I see what you mean. That when you say Mihai res in the top, you mean the golden stone up there.
Yeah, like the right side top, you know?
Yeah. That's crazy. Vinchester is going to be fine on stone, so they're both just going to repair this tower and play this game. Slightly better for Vinch there, in my opinion, because Vinch has 5 archers. So the 2 Vils inside for Mihai. I think he's slowly going to phase the Vils out. Yeah, this is super good from both.
Yep.
Now it's just each player repairing and each player with 5 archers inside the tower.
Yeah, it's so cornered, though. That's the issue for him, currently.
Yeah. I feel like Mihai's best friend is going to be a market right now.
Is the tower in range of the other tower? Or is that just protecting the farms?
I mean, this can happen, though. Vinchester... has an issue completing this tower, and now Mihai's back at the tower with Vils, and the micro continues. Oh my goodness, the pressure right now. This micro from Mihai is insane, yep. Maybe does dive a little too deep here, though.
Yeah.
I still don't mind it.
Yeah, it's fine. But not sure why he felt the need to do that, to deny the tower so hard.
Well,
okay, it does range the tower.
Against Vinchester, I would be concerned with this. This is what Vinch loves to do, or used to love to do on Arena. So the double tower from Vinch is actually insane.
But Mihai has archers on the left side.
Oh!
They killed 2 Vils.
Yeah,
from that range. I completely forgot that was a thing, actually.
Yeah. I think Vinchester did too. So he's killed 3 Vils, and now he's going to kill an archer. And now Vinch has to move his mule cart to take wood somewhere else.
I mean, we have full omniscience, and we still don't realize everything that happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean...
Yeah, Vinch lost a lot of Vils here.
Vinch's eco is really bad. Like, he's focused so much on the towers, but everything else has looked rough for him. Look at the difference in res collected. I almost instinctively said look at it, like it was going to be a big difference. That actually is actually pretty close. But you wouldn't expect it to be close if Vinchester's villagers get found here by the sneak archers from Mihai.
Yeah, I guess at least the Vils got killed fairly recently, but like in 2 minutes this is going to be pretty huge, I guess.
Well, yes and no, because now Vinchester hops out to kill the archers on the left from Mihai, so Mihai will lose those. I think Vinchester maybe saw Mihai's archers on the right, which is why Mihai is coming back with them to hide. And if Vinch can build another tower relatively forward to pressure Mihai, Mihai could have some big problems. Even this tower from Mihai is not good, because that's already in range of Vinch's tower. I mean, maybe it is good.
Unless the point is to fight the tower. Not sure if that was intentional.
Yeah. He's got...
It's micro to save the Vils though.
Yeah, when this happens, though, in Castle Age, there's so many weak Vils, everything dies. Everything dies so quickly. I died as well,
my goodness.
Oh, man. Man, the range on the left keeps pumping out archers. I just keep getting surprised by his numbers. We are 23 minutes into this game, and they are nowhere near making it to Castle Age.
Yeah. Now a tower on the right side as well.
Yeah.
From Vinch.
How important are those villagers in the north right now for Mihai? That he's been able to take that whole stone pile and also take that gold. Ooh, and he's going to deny Vinch's tower. Vinch is so little army right now, Ganji. He's going to have 2 archers, 1 skirm, 1 scout. That's it. That's not enough. If these archers keep moving for Mihai, Mihai could win the game right here. He has to get to the north of Vinch's eco, and he has to recognize that this is a moment for him.
Just now got the restore tower.
Oh, man, this is going to still be painful for Vinchester, though, right? A lot of his eco is going to be ranged. He'll lose a villager or 2. Mihai looking to tie up the series. It almost felt like it was inevitable that Vinchester was just going to win this one after the first 2 games, but Mihai is back, baby.
Extremely impressive game as well. Like, this is kind of in Vinchester's wheelhouse, and Mihai is outplaying him at his own game.
Yeah, agreed. This is not a map I would have expected Mihai to be any good on. I would have thought this was his worst map in the draft.
And at this point, Armenians should have all the advantages, right? They have the bit decks that are more effective. Jordans don't really have anything to work with here that the Armenians don't. They have cheaper mule carts as well.
12-2 eco KD. And Market now in the north for Mihai. And still good archer numbers. He's got 13. Vinch is still trying to catch up with archers. Skirms would probably be better, but skirms are awkward because it can delay your Castle Age time, which is on their minds right now.
Yeah.
Mihai doesn't have Bidax.
Slowly getting the rest as well.
Mihai doesn't actually have Bidax researched, by the way. So it is double Bidax without double Bidax, but I think the amount of control he has is super nice right now. And he still will actually chop open the northern area. So in Castle Age, he could build TCs up there and be safe.
Yeah, true.
I don't get the northern area. I mean, like the food area.
Yeah, the left side, so to speak.
Mihai's archers are ready to retire now, so they just get the cushy office job. They get to sit inside of their watchtower all day. And Vinch doesn't have archers to compete, so he's got 4 Vils inside.
Oh, they click up at the same time though.
No way, dude.
For castle drop, right? And Vinch would go for like a, I don't know, siege and church. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Armenians get the free relic. There's no other easy way to get relics on this map, so I like that.
Yeah. But in these types of game, a castle drop is brutal, usually.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't drop a castle easily if the towers are still up. So I think you still want to shoot those towers down.
Yeah, if you can, but I think you can't, so... You just drop the castle by the, like, between the stone and the tower, right? You should still range the TC in both towers, I think that's fine.
I think the tower from Vinch next to his TC would range any castle spot, because the stone tile actually blocks Mihai's castle.
Maybe deletes the farm then and places it slightly further back.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I don't have the range.
I'm just
like,
a little concerned for Mihai here, because he doesn't... His army's not accomplishing a lot right now, and I don't even know if he can make many Manaspa. So, as weird as it sounds, I think Vinchester, if he makes a couple monks, if the castle's not in his TC, I think he can actually still maybe make some things happen. But he's going to be pressured big time on the left now.
He has 0 gold at the moment, Vinch. He doesn't seem concerned about that, no?
Yeah. Well, he's got mule carts to move over to the gold, I guess. Maybe you castle this hill where the army is right now if you're Mihai.
That would have to be a good one.
You do leave.
But are you sure you can't place the castle some way that you can hit the TC without the tower killing you? Like it should be possible.
Maybe between the range and the stone tile.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to capture it because you don't have the range modes. Like.
Yeah, you can actually add it, but it looks horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't use it. All right, there's the castle.
Yeah, that castle must range the TC, right? Especially.
Yep, and Bodkin's coming in for 10 archers, which is still a pretty big deal. Vinch is going to be stuck in one section of the map. Like, he is going to be completely surrounded. And Mihai can be in every single section here.
And once the TC and the towers go down, I think Mihai should stonewall him in on that side.
Yeah,
that
agreed. Dude, I mean, it's amazing. Mihai's starting to outpost now this other section. So I think he'll do exactly that. If Vinchester wins this game, it would be absolutely unbelievable. To be
yeah, for sure.
Not only just stuck in one section, but he's stuck in a tiny section of this section.
Yes, true.
Almost feel like Manaspa, the threat of Manaspa is enough, but it might not be something you can afford too many of right now if you're Mihai, so maybe just 1 or 2.
It is sneaking a TC at the top, but it's still the same section, let's say.
Yeah, but that's a pretty big deal because Vinch or Mihai thinks he has Vinch surrounded right now.
Yeah.
If only Mihai would have built some outposts over there. Like he's thinking about the other areas. He actually is missing with his outpost, by the way, the chop from Vinch for now. It looks like he'll see it. But still no eco upgrades for Mihai as well. That's pretty nuts. He doesn't have a single one. Still probably should win this game, but Vinchester hasn't been killed off yet.
It slowed down a little bit now.
Yep. Normally when it slows down is when you see moments for eco upgrades to be checked, right?
Yeah, Vinch did Bosa and gold mining now. That's more effective with their minions as well. Oh, but nice tower by Mihai on the left side. You see behind the wood line of Vinch.
That's perfect.
That's annoying.
Yep. So he's got his approach down perfectly, I'd say.
Yeah.
Mihai will feel like he can never lose this game because he has Vinch fully surrounded. The only thing is, he doesn't have Vinch fully surrounded with that sneak TC from Vinch. So Vinch secures more wood. Vinch secures more gold. I mean, super long term, he could chop out, but that's probably never going to happen. I think
Mihai also remember to do the church on the eco, which is very nice.
Yeah. And now the archers are coming in. And there's a bunch of weak vills from earlier on the farms. There's no TC to protect them, and Vinchester's going to lose more vills.
He should make crossbows though, right?
I agree with you there. But he also should probably have double bit X. And there's a lot of other things to focus on.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice
I feel like at this point, you just think you have bit X straight up.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's been too long. I don't think we've ever seen Mihai not have bit X at 34 minutes before.
Yeah.
He's not expecting this TC here.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of trapped.
It's testament to how messy the game is. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, big shots. Manaspa, it would feel natural for them to come out. Big shot again from Vinchester. But there's only 2 Manaspa because there's not enough eco for Mihai to really work with here. So, I mean, Vinch, he's actually chopped through. He did kill his own villagers with this Mangonel. No!
Yeah. Oh, my God.
But he did chop through. He will be able to escape.
Vinch also 2 vills on the bottom side of the map, like on the left part of the map.
Oh, he clicked them through, and the pathing must have been blocked. So they could actually walk through the opening for Mihai. He could wall that up.
Yeah.
If he notices right now, he could place a stone wall there, and then maybe Mihai won't have access. There go the Manaspa. Manaspa were going to get converted, so they have to back away. And the militia take out the Mangonel.
Sick.
What?
And a villager.
And a villager. That's the best strush I've ever seen right there.
Okay, BitTax whole scroller coming in for me, I see realized.
Yeah. And he's like, oh boy, okay. So it took him some time.
As well.
He still has vills in the north to build stables. Redemption now from Vinch. I mean, really impressive from both, but well played from Vinchester to still compete in this.
Absolutely.
How in the world is he not dead? He's down 30
He's
vills
a warrior.
though.
Yeah. So at the moment, it doesn't feel like those 30 vills are super effective. It's kind of hard to get the army.
Yeah, I agree.
Army out there.
I think was the Mangonel goes down there from Vinch. I think Lightcap's the perfect call for Mihai though.
Yeah.
He's only seeing a couple archers, a couple monks, and Lightcap actually simplifies your game plan a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for him to make Lightcap from the one stable and then also push with the Siege Workshop when he needs the Lightcap from the bottom stables too. So I imagine he's probably using control groups, but could be super easy to use select all stable and then have your units just running the wrong direction.
Yeah, definitely. I like the fortified churches he's making though. All over the place, Mihai.
Do you use control groups for all your military buildings, or do you select all buildings sometimes, or both?
I use both, but mostly control groups.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But I know you love your control groups for monks, so there's no question you can use control groups. So
yeah. If I have 18 ranges, I have ranges from 1 to 18 control groups. Perfect.
What's actually
I use control groups.
Yeah. Well,
I'm used to it from the Woobly days, I suppose. So.
Yeah, that's most pros, I think. Mangonels continue to go down for Vinch. He's got so much to worry about. He will kill a monk, but I'm just waiting. I think Mihai's eco is good enough now to get the numbers of Lightcap to clear this push up. He's also going to drop a castle.
Yeah.
On the right side here. Castle. Yeah, there's no way this one gets denied, right?
The fact that those 4 vills on the top of the map is still alive, taking that gold is crazy.
Yeah, agreed. What a crazy game for Mihai. The Lightcap clear up everything. The castle's going up, and we have the 2-2 scoreline. The quarterfinals continue to be insane. I was really worried after the first 2 games, but now full belief in Mihai. Just like against Tato, man. Like maybe loses the first game or 2, but is able to turn it around. To our point, would have never expected Mihai to be so well prepped and even comfortable at times on this map.
And I feel like this was not even preparation. It was just like intuition and improvisation. Like this was such a crazy game, and he outplayed Vinch.
Yep.
Which is not an easy thing to do. That was extremely impressive from Mihai.
Also, what was the count on the elephants? Was it not 4 elephants for Vinch or 3 and 1 for Mihai?
At least 3 for Vinch and 1 for Mihai. Yeah, I think that.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
With the crazy early, like laming each other, and then the rush on the left side, it was complete madness.
Yeah, and he got the job done. And so, for as good as Vinch was probably feeling after the first 2 games, now he's probably feeling, he's trying to get back to that good feeling, I guess. Res collected way higher for Mihai. KD was very good for Mihai. I think the key for me in this game was the archer range on the left side.
Oh, yeah.
Because there were 3 or 4 instances in Feudal Age where archers would show up there, and it would even surprise me. Like I kept forgetting that range was the thing.
Yeah, me too.
And then eventually at a certain point, Vinchester just didn't have archers anymore. I think that's because his production got hit multiple times.
Yeah.
And then it was like 10 to 11 archers versus 3. Of course, the militia as well. I mean, Mihai making the additional militia absolutely paid off, I think, in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
Hindustanis for Mihai. And Saracens for Vinchester, so a potential camel war, and we've got mired, so We got to keep an eye out here. This is going to be insane in the middle.
This is a tricky one in the beginning, right? With you take the boars and then you get blocked by the horse.
Yep. So Mihai is trying to bring the boar in right away. Vinchester's right next to him, making him work. Making him work. If Mihai loses this build, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh. But he gets it.
And for folks at home, like when you do that blocking, it's about who click the fastest with the units that blocks.
Yep.
And if you're getting blocked, you need to click faster than the other guys. So if you're versus Lear, you can just give up, and if you're versus Doubt, you can just keep clicking, and it's fine.
Oh, poor Doubt. Still somehow catching strays. Well, Vinch did bring in a boar behind that, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But now Mihai's here. So I always ask my chat how many Vils they think are going to die in Dark Age. I'm actually going to go higher than I have the last couple of times. I'm actually going with 3 here because they're both being really active with the horses. Yeah.
I would say 1.
Yeah, come on. That's so lame. But
that's got to be 0 probably.
That's probably safe. I mean, they're both being super stubborn and not getting loom.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And the hard part about this is that you can't take the boar and then drop a house on it, right? Because the terrain, so it really is all about the clicking.
There's no way Vinch is actually going to try and steal a boar that's that far.
Yeah, it's very cocky.
Right? Here's your one. Here's your one. Vinch is not letting this one get away.
Click!
There's no way. Huh! Huh! Oh, the horse! Oh!
But that's worth it, though.
Worth it for who? Worth it for who?
I guess for Vinch, no?
We'll see, because he
Still
can't...
a very early Vil kill.
He can't block anymore.
That's true.
But it is an early Vil kill. I agree with you.
Vinch lost a Vil, 2 Vils down. Okay, you're probably winning this one.
Oh, shoot. Wait, so he lost it underneath the TC? Or where?
No, he lost it to the boar. I think he just completely forgot he was taking a boar.
I don't even know where that was. Okay, well, he's down
right
2 Vils.
Yeah.
Oh, God, now Vinchester's losing another one? Oh, my God, Vinchester's completely falling apart. He's trying to bring in the other 2 boars. That should be another dead Vil.
Under the TC as well, he's losing one. Oh, my God, he saved it.
Okay, but the other Vil died, so Vinch is down 3 villagers.
Oh, God.
I'm somehow wrong as well. Oh, man. Brutal. Wait, no, that is 3 Vils. I'm correct.
It's 2. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, the death confused me. So he's down 2 Vils.
Confused me as well. Yeah.
And he's down his horse. But if he's down his horse, then he can't easily take the other, or block the other boars. So, man, Mihai... He doesn't know everything we know, necessarily, how rough things have looked for Vinch as well underneath the TC, but what a 6 spot for Mihai. Mihai doesn't even need to get loom, either.
Yeah.
Well...
Who do you favor here, Hindu and Saracen?
I think Hindustanis are... Well, if this is crossbow in Castle Age, I think it's kind of tough for Hindustanis. But if it's just a boom war and to adapt with stable units, Imperial Camel just completely shreds the Saracens in my experience.
Yeah.
But this is not a map where we typically see super late game, so I think overall I like the Hindustanis. What I would want to do, I think with other civs, if you open scouts here, you sometimes don't find damage if the opponent walls up. But with Hindustanis, you could still make 3 or 4 scouts, and you're probably going to pressure their walls pretty heavily because of the bonus there. So I would really like the Hindustanis.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think these are the 2 civs that I can actually break people in.
I think Vinch...
The scouts do more damage, and the archers do more damage for Saracen, so it's pretty nice.
I don't know how many boars Vinch actually got here. Maybe it was 4. But he might be dead, dude. Like, this is bad.
You mean he can't click up? Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, if he can't click up when he finishes this boar, I think there might be 2 of them.
Yeah, I can't really tell.
It's hard for me to click.
Oh yeah, 300 food left on the boards. He should be fine, but it's close.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't have... Oh no, he does have a lumber camp, and now he has the mill. Okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It was close though, and I mean Mihai is already up, and he's quite ahead in population.
Yeah, this is... Oh man, Vinch is just... Is not looked good for him here. And it's been rare. I mean, I asked you how many Vils you thought were going to die. You said 1. So it's been rare that we've seen games where someone just gets completely destroyed there. But
yeah.
So he I guess, was distracted bringing in other boars, lost a Vil. Mihai got the better of him with the blocking. And the fact that Vinch can't scout now is massive. He can't see what his opponent's doing at all.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yep. I think I forget which game it was, but we had horse go down, but kill the Vil just like that. The other player didn't kill any Vils, but because the one player was able to scout and adapt to everything and see the openings and see the base layout, it just made such a big difference. And also the back of your own base. Like Vinchester right now, he doesn't even know where he has gold.
Yeah,
so,
true. Yeah, I think the only point where I figured it was worth it was it was like pop 8, right? Which is a huge blow to eco, rather than like pop 20, then it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, that's true. I mean, the scouting is pretty big.
I mean, is Vinchester possibly contacting an admin right now saying, I don't have gold? Because...
Not impossible, but I mean, he has gold. He just haven't scouted it.
Yeah. It's paused for you as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I mean, 9 minutes in is also way too late, no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if someone straight up didn't have a gold and we didn't notice it the first couple minutes, I would technically, via the rules, it wouldn't be a restart, but it's a quarterfinal. I would want to replay it, but our base is messaging me. He's saying only 2 deer spawned here. So is Vinch asking about the deer?
That is true. I was wondering why there were only 2 there. Everywhere else it's 4.
I mean, typically it is 4. You're right. It feels like a tricky situation, right? There are 2 deer there, but that 2 deer is never an issue if everything else doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big deal right now. But
it's a pretty big deal right now, but
it's so bad.
It's literally only because of the other things, and deer are way less like planned around for rees than goldstone, boars, all the normal stuff. You know, deer are kind of an afterthought on the map script. So yeah, you're living the dream right now because you don't have to make any decisions.
Yeah.
So let me speak to our base about this.
I think they just started.
Are they back in? Okay, so I guess decision's been made. Yeah, I mean it's weird. It's weird to have to do this in front of an audience and talk about it, right? Yeah. But to me, too much of the game is played out. Too much of the game is played out. I think Vinch can still click up, and like, it would be quite unfair to Mihai as well at this point.
Yeah.
Is it still playing for you, or is it?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Playing. Okay.
And 20 in now.
So maybe that's what they were discussing. Yeah. Yeah. So I gotta catch up to live time a little bit.
Yep.
Vinchester's on the way up. And he does have other deer around. He's got berries around, but he doesn't know about any of this because he doesn't have his horse right now. So just losing that horse was massive. He'll see the berries. He finds the gold, which is what he was looking for.
And this is the only civ where you can't tell if he's going archer or scout just because he's on gold. Because he could just plop down a mark and buy some food as well.
Yeah, true. We'll I mean, if there's any civ that could stabilize from this position, it's the Saracens with the market. Yep. You can get a nice little boost. But look at Mihai right now. It's crazy what the horse can do. He sees the barracks, he sees the Vils on gold, he sees the mill, he sees all these things, and behind this can just adapt fully. And also, he knows about all of his resources behind his base and to the side of his base because of the horse. I feel like this is the first time I've got really pumped about a horse if it's not Huns. You know, like because normally both players have their horse. Here, Vinchester going to struggle a little bit without that.
And it already did its job by killing a villager, like indirectly as well.
Yeah, nice. True. So there's no way you can't do too much here for Vinchester to equalize the Vil count right away. He seems to be opting for more of a defensive play, which is, I think, understandable considering he feels uncomfortable and needs to wall.
Yeah. But imagine Mihai did like a forward range or something. Like that would be so scary.
Yeah,
he's lucky it's scouts, I would say. Well, he might not be able to wall that Vil because of the deer carcass on the left.
Ooh. You can move over the deer carcass though. I think that should still be a dead Vil if Mihai. Ooh, okay.
Chose not to. He likes his scouting.
No loom for Mihai, by the way. So he has 1 second of TC idle time versus 18. No loom, so he's up a Vil because of that. And, ooh, nice gate there from Vinchester. Nice. Really well played. But, like, my feeling is Mihai could just kill because he's got such a good eco. But if you're Hindustanis, I would love to see some archers as well right now to break through the walls. But maybe that's too much.
Well, I wonder in Castle Age if people go for Camel and Boom or maybe even CA.
Yeah. So 10 farms for Mihai. He will go to gold now. He is walling a lot more. Could be a bit risky. Sometimes if you wall up too much against the Saracens, they can break through those walls with archers.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to wall that early, but yeah,
do you think the house walls on the left are intentional because he's up against Saracens, or do you think it's just something he'd do anyways?
I think he would do it anyway, but it is intentional in a way.
Okay.
Like you would do it versus any civ, right? But especially versus Saracen, it's extremely important. Yeah.
Well played from Vinch. I mean, things got rough here. Things are certainly not pretty still, but he didn't take more damage to the scouts, which could have so easily happened. And he does have his berries. He does have his market with the Saracens. He's down 700 res collected. I mean, he's been down 3 or 4 villagers just since Dark Age.
That's an ugly mill, though.
Oh.
For 190 food. I mean...
Well, he's got 2 deer outside of his walls, yeah. That's not the prettiest situation here for Vinch. And what a turnaround, dude. I mean, it just felt so inevitable the first 2 games.
Yep.
Like, it's amazing how fast the series can turn around.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's important for players to recognize that. Especially players who are trying to break into the top. I think having a short memory, just forgetting how a couple games go in the series can be really important. I don't really have any advice on how to do that, but you need to clearly here Mihai's shown you get into your groove and things can turn around pretty quickly.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Archers pop out. Archers weaken the scout and kill the other. And Mihai finally decides, let's maybe get Loom. And he's fully walling up right now. Maybe he was getting Loom because of the tiger in the back.
Could be. It's a good time to get Loom, though.
Yeah.
You don't want to postpone it too late, because then you might eventually forget completely, and then it's a bit awkward.
Dude, this is... I have seen so many games where someone who's behind takes a risk and dives underneath the TC. And Mihai is just not leaving that up to chance here. Just stonewalling in front of the TC. He is going to be house-walled pretty much everywhere else as well. So he's fully aware of the threat that the Saracens can pose with crossbowmen. But an option the Hindustanis have here is to switch a bunch of vills onto stone and go for golems. So he's not doing that, which means he's going to have some army to contest for map control against the crossbows here.
Yeah, crossbow timing is always tricky with those camel civs, right? You don't really have the answer, especially with Hindustani. It could be an issue. Like camel crossbow is a little bit tricky, unless you have your own camel crossbow, or as you said, the Gulam.
I think if the roles were flipped, we would see Vinchester going to stone right now. Vinch is more of a unique unit player for me. But
I think Mihai will go like light cav monk boom play, which can be good, but you can't really fight with it.
I mean, certainly Mihai's got the lead right now, but I'm not fully convinced light cav is going to make life easy for him. No. But I guess it depends on the commitment.
For the second TC, for the third TC, I mean.
Yeah.
No market either.
But when you have the eco lead, light cav gives you some time to adapt.
Oh.
I could always drop siege, whatever else he needs behind this, but Mihai looking very, very comfortable right now, kind of out of nowhere. And there's Vinchester knocking on the door. But this is an interesting timing, actually. Vinchester's still 90 seconds away from upgrades. So Mihai might be able to collapse on this army and kill this army before it's upgraded.
I mean, you would imagine in Vinch's position, he feels a little bit desperate, right? He knows how horrible his Dark Age and Feudal Age was.
Yep.
That he might overextend. Like, maybe he's doing right now. It's kind of hard to tell at the moment.
Well,
it's light cap +1, yeah.
I think
6 of them.
I think 6 light cap could kill this.
Yeah.
And
that would be really bad. Because Vinch has 2 stables behind this. He wants to pump camels and crossbow, but if he doesn't have crossbows, only camels is kind of bad.
I've definitely been in this position, though, where you feel like even if you try and run home, maybe it's too late.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of hoping that you can get your upgrades in time. Mihai needs to dive the second he sees Castle Age.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the second light cav hits. He has some time. Right now. There's one weak light cav in there. Vinch micros it down. The Spearman gets some decent hits too. And it seems like it's so critical to keep these alive and wait for the camels. So far, a pretty good engagement for Mihai, all things considered. But he's not going to kill them all. And Crossbow's going to be in. And this is actually what I was worried about. Crossbow and camel now. Crossbow Knight.
That went way better than I thought for Vinchester.
Yeah, agreed. I think melee pathing maybe a little bit there.
I guess Vinch is reading the situations correctly and realizing camels are not really needed here. Light cap can't really fight me when I have crossbows, and it's not like
man,
will go a big camel. So
this is the first time I've seen Vinchester with a lot of momentum in 2 games, right? Like Mihai's reacting. This is a lot of pressure on Mihai now. Like having to build that house is such a sign that he's kind of in trouble right now. The buildings are going to break down so quickly. He's adding a Scorpion. He's adding a Monk. I mean, could obviously convert a Knight and get some hits with the Scorpion. But if Vinch gets through, everything's exposed back here. This could be horrible for Mihai.
Should Vinch double down and go Workshop? He might need it to get in.
This is pretty close. After killing that Monk, I think he will stick around here.
Oh, actually, true.
Saracens we're talking about. And Vinch is in his groove now.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Mihai's panicking.
Mihai's panicking big time, dude. Look at Vinch's micro. He doesn't care about that Scorpion. He's just taking all the vills. That house is down. The next house foundation could go down. Another Scorpion, though.
And a Monk as well.
I think maybe Mihai's done enough.
Yeah, just about.
Well,
but that kind of equalized the vill count, and Mihai lost a lot of vills and
100%.
Like just annoyance overall.
100%. And we did miss some light cav killing vills in Vinchester's eco there. So 2 vills went down, I think. Well played, Mihai.
Yeah.
But that is, I mean, with how bad this felt, it felt like maybe Mihai was just going to easily win the game and we'd be in the next game. That's really good from Vinch.
Definitely.
Really nice momentum.
He will add a workshop on the left side now as well, while distracting on the right with the army.
I mean, Scorpions feel great until that first Mangonel pops out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Once the Mangonel's there, you could have some problems. Having said that, Mihai, he can see the Siege Workshop. So if he runs out there with the light cav, it spots that, denies that, you'd be in a much better position here.
Oh, and he will do that.
Yep. Gonna be tough for Vinch. Trying to attack the other side while also going for the Siege Workshop on the left was maybe a little bit too ambitious, but he didn't expect to be spotted. And nice job from Mihai. Does deny the Siege Workshop, and it just delays the Siege push way longer. It delays it by 2 minutes, it feels like.
Yep. I thought the army Mihai was making was not going to do anything, but that was actually pretty good value for...
If he didn't house wall everything, it would have been a completely different situation here. It was being very tough for Vinch to break in. Nice conversion from Mihai on the right. Now on the left as well, Mihai's waiting with a Monk.
Goes for Vinch losing some straggler units through the middle as well.
Yep. Light Cap getting pickoffs. There should
Vinch
be a
army is
Vill.
still really strong though.
Yeah, it still feels like if one Mangonel is a part of this army, the walls break. And I don't know what Hindustanis can make against like crossbow and cav.
Yeah, it's quite tricky. Yeah, like Gulam doesn't work anymore as well because the knights are there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. Vinch has a lot of stone. I'm not sure if he plans to sell it and do some other stuff with that, or just go for a 40 castle trap.
I mean,
adding a TC now as well.
He definitely needs to catch up in eco, but Vinch is just going full army here. He seems to understand what he needs to do. This has turned into a really competitive game. I think, at least for players like me, being on 3TC is actually a disadvantage for the micro. Because you feel like you have to manage the eco, but in all fairness, Mihai's eco is already set up. He probably doesn't need to add a lot of farms right now. He just needs to produce the bills.
That's true. You can just pump bills. You will get a little bit too much wood if you're microing too much, right? But it's okay. Like, you can spend that later. And with the new farm feature, it's pretty easy. You don't even have to do T90 farms, which is great.
Yeah, dude. I haven't...
That part.
When I play with Kamur, I'm not even kidding. I still make mills just for the auto farms, fam.
Yeah.
Because it's just so mindless.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think that's good. I think people will make jokes, but it's so much faster. So
yeah. So I guess on this ping, I'm not sure. I think Mihai will have like 210 ping or something.
Auto farm with high ping is really tough. That's a good point. There is a big difference.
And Mihai
there.
and Vinch are both very fast players, so they do farm.
Oh god.
Oh, 2 monks are gonna die.
Yep, 2 monks go down. Mangonel does go down for Vinch, but I mean, if Vinch dives right now, he can kill all that. Vinch is gonna be through. What is happening?
Oh my god.
What is happening, dude? This was a disaster for Vinchester and Dark Age. He was supposed to be dead. But Mihai just doesn't have an army right now. And I think the crossbow should follow, no?
Yeah. Oh, the Mangonel comes out though.
Oh! Vinch dodges!
Oh, the 1 second he had to pay attention. Oh no.
No way, Vinch is through! And all of Mihai's eco is exposed.
And Mihai is adding like stables, but what should he do? More camels versus crossbow? It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, and
what units can he really make?
20 vills up when you've got 30 idle is not good.
Yeah.
This is the heart of Mihai's eco, and Vinchester has come back. We were talking about momentum, dude. Here, Ganji. Like, this is like, imagine how you'd be feeling if you're Mihai losing this game after the start.
This is demoralizing.
Yep.
Like, he knew how far ahead he was, and he still is in terms of economy, but this is the problem with Hindustani. Like, it's hard to get an army from having an eco lead to clean this type of army.
I would have really liked him to go for the castle. It still might not have worked, but it would have protected him. He knew his opponent was going crossbow, but this is where Mihai's brain is at right now, potentially as well. You just, oh, if only I would have done this, God. If only I would have done that.
Yeah, I mean, really, objectively, he needed to just stay walled, right? But that's easier said than done. Versus Saracen and Vinch Micro and all that.
Yeah, props to Vinch. Like, how many vills did Vinchester kill initially on the first house wall? And how much pressure just continues to come? And now he's going to bring villagers forward to drop a castle. Like, this is just Vinchester at his best with his micro. And Mihai is left wondering how to respond to this. Even if he tries to drop a castle right now, where can you drop a defensive castle when there's so much army around?
Yeah. Oh, and Vinch instantly notices Scorpion popping out, moving the crossbows. Like, he's just so aware.
Yeah, I think if that castle goes up, Mihai will tap. Mihai needs some good moments here, but he's not going to find it. Oh, there's his own castle. We'll see if that castle even goes up. His TC's not up. He's down to 70 vills now. Dude, Mihai, no. I'm spoiling myself, Ganji. Because I have fast forward on from catching up the live time. And so, yeah. As you could probably imagine, the castle's not going to go up for Mihai. And Vinchester wins it.
Wow.
What in the world? That was the worst start that he could have had. What a turnaround.
I mean, what a mental boost for Vinchester after this win. Holy shit. And Mihai is probably demoralized after that win.
Yeah.
Oh, after that loss.
The positive for Mihai is he probably doesn't know how big a lead he had.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you could look at it. I would try and resist to looking at it, but I think everyone does. You might look at total vills, like villager max, and see you were 12 vills up, which doesn't feel... That's not what it was. It was actually 25. But yikes, man. He just completely got broken, and he did everything he could with the house walls, but he just didn't have army to deal with the crossbow camel composition for Vinch.
Yeah. Like, sometimes if you're a knight save and have equal advantage, you can actually just make knights to clean camel crossbow, but pure camel just doesn't work. The crossbows are way too effective. So
yeah, and if it's straight boom, I think it almost needs to be 3 TCs right away, and his third TC was a little delayed. I don't know. It's unfortunate for Mihai because this is just what it becomes. He had such a good game, and now because he fell apart, we question everything. But he won 2 games in a row before. He's going to have to do it now to get out of the quarterfinal. But when you see a game like that, you almost think like, that's going to be the game. That's going to be the game we think about. And one player is going to regret, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we're in. Apologies, folks, for catching up, of course. But just DE things. We've got big game number 6, and thankfully Ganji kind of let us know we didn't miss anything huge.
I did the play-by-play. We know everything that happened this game. Quite a lot.
Wow, they are very well positioned in the corner, each of them.
Yep, very far away from each other.
Vinch is he's got a great corner for stone. He's got 2 tiles of gold around, which is actually quite nice. It's kind of tough to get that on this map. And there is a gold right underneath Mihai's TC, though. So Tatars, Gurjaras, both TCing the outside. Eventually, the middle is really important on inundation. So give me your thoughts on, like, I don't know, what you think is best on this map? What do you think players might be thinking right now?
Well, people love their CAs nowadays, so I guess in that sense, Tatar is good, but Gurjara should be pretty good into CA play, like some Camel, some Monk, get TC in middle. I think for late game, I prefer Gurjaras, I would say. Like, there aren't any hills at all in the middle, which is where you want to fight later on, right? So
True.
That Tatar bonus is not going to be very useful. But all the sheep that Mihai is getting is kind of insane.
Yeah, and so
For
both
sheep and geese.
How did that even... How is there such a big difference there? Maybe he didn't take as many?
I think Vinch was just very unlucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he did scout a lot of the map. It's just...
Vinch is going to steal one of those sheeps now.
Ooh, that's huge.
Vinch is going to have 6 for his mill. So both civs have unique sheep bonuses. Gurjara's garrison. And then the Tatars just get the 50% extra food. But yeah, holy. I mean, they both just scouted the map with their horse this whole time. So it's just good luck for Mihai. And he needs the luck right now. Because last game, probably still living in his mind a little bit.
Yeah. It's hard to shake those types of games. You know how far ahead you were. Maybe not to what extent, but you know you were ahead. And you kind of fumbled it by having a hole, let's say. Like, it's a rather simple mistake, but it happens all the time for all the players. Like,
yeah.
It's super easy to...
So Mihai finds where Vinchester is. Vinchester knows exactly where Mihai is. So I think one thing I can count out is that they're both going to go... I don't think we're going to see either of them go fast castle into unique unit here.
Yeah, I want to see some Chakram, though. That would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you think about it, maybe Chakrams could be decent, but...
yeah,
probably
decent versus what? Nothing.
Yeah. So that's not going to happen. Gurjaras can't go for Cav archers themselves. They can only make elephant archers, which could be great later, but they're slow and they're expensive. So I think we won't see that opening. So it feels to me, I would say Vinch will probably just go into light cav for map control and boom.
Yeah.
And then eventually adapt, and then, yeah, maybe some Cav archers from Mihai.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, versus Gurjara, I think also Tatar might have to go into halbs or pikes at some point as well. The camels are very oppressive at some point, but depends how, like, low eco game they will do in the middle. Like, seems like Mihai is going feudal age.
Feudal age pressure from Mihai. Well, this could actually be... This could still be fast castle, honestly.
Yeah, it could actually.
He's got another boar. He's got the Vils on sheep. He's still got plenty of sheep. It's way faster than I was expecting him to click, but then Vinchester clicks up right behind him. So I think they probably just have their build orders swapped out here.
So we'll do a range or a stable in the middle, Mihai, and that's it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you. It's a little unrelated to these two.
All right.
Feel free to be as diplomatic or undiplomatic with the answer, okay? Because this is... I'm just saying, you don't have to give me player examples, but I have a theory.
All right.
Okay. Well, not really a theory. So...
You set me up good for this one, okay?
So sometimes, right? No, all the time, I'm listening to players talk about what they think. And especially in the early days of Wandering Warriors Cup, we have 128 players. Lots of players around the scene. I'm hearing opinions. And there are some instances where I talked to people who kind of had opinions on similar to me in terms of what I think the meta would be, but they're a little indecisive on it. So they're like, yeah, maybe it's that. I'm not sure, right? Even though I think it's like it was closer to the good strat. Okay. Then there's players who would say things are going to be good and is so absolutely not good. It's not even funny, right? I'm just like, what on earth is this person thinking? But they'd have such confidence in their stupid strategy that when I watch the games, I actually think they played good, like better, because they were more confident in their wrong thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
So how
do you
how big is confidence, I guess, versus like not? Like, are there examples in your mind of people who are just confident in the wrong thing and then they just, because they have self-belief the whole time, they're never falling into that trap of thinking X, Y, or Z strategy is bad. I don't know.
I think so for sure. I think not to mention any names. I'm freaking Andy. Like sometimes these strats are a little bit wacky, but they can work because if the enemy doesn't expect them at all, they might prepare for something completely different, which means that the strat will work.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a balance there, for sure. But wasn't it Doubt that did some FC Hans play on the Boundary Brawl? I think it worked even, right? But I think it maybe shouldn't have, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not to
just
say any names.
Thinking about that, because a lot of people second guess themselves, and I do think there's a lot to not second guessing your opinion and just being like overly cocky and overly believing in your play as the game goes on. So, like I said, I kind of set you up there. I didn't know if you're gonna name drop.
I mean, there's one thing to be creative, but you can also be a little bit overly creative and do some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But it can still work.
So you mentioned one person. I mean, is freaking Andy going to be the only example you mentioned?
Andy, okay, you're naming names now. Okay.
No, you said freaking Andy, not me.
Hey, I'm kidding. Yeah, but he could have some like, at least that I think are slightly wild ideas, and then he stops doing them after a few games. So I guess he came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
But he also has some brilliant ideas, right? So
yeah. Well, we didn't have anything else to touch on. I thought that would be, if you want, I could tell you some like 2 or 3 players that came to mind as well off stream. All right.
Okay.
Because I don't want things getting clipped. I don't want any disrespect.
But I think it shows some kind of creativity, which is good.
Yeah, agreed.
Like even bad strats, like you kind of have to try them out to see if they're bad or good.
Yep.
And
I agree.
Like even great strats can fail on execution and stuff.
Yep.
Players and like having a good strat versus MBL is hard because he makes everything so messy that it kind of never goes according to plan.
Yeah,
like that.
I agree with you there.
It's extremely hard.
So, very different builds here. Okay, we've got 2 ranges from Mihai, so lots of army focus, and he will TC the middle. So he's got a fair amount of gold to take now. But what he's not doing is going the 3 TC boom Vinchester's doing, and Vinch scouted the ranges and the TC with that horse. It's amazing what having a horse could do for Vinchester. And
oh yeah.
So this is just boom and defense for Vinch, and eventually he's going to try and reclaim the middle. Mihai's going map control.
Yeah. I like Mihai's spot. I think you can easily add this 30C, and with all those sheep, delay the farms a bit. Maybe make like 6-8 CA, roam around, be a bit annoying. Then boom, and then go into a composition that is hard to like reclaim the map, right? Because Vinch, the only thing he can do is what? Like Camel Scorpion? Or Shivamto Scorpion? So if you go CA Camel or CA Pikes, I guess that's good. Something like that.
I think
probably see.
I think Vinchester's spot is slightly better in my view. And just because there's going to be that point where Mihai has to add tons of farms to keep these TCs running, which is relatively soon.
The hard part, actually. Yeah.
So he can't go siege push or add more CA. And then when he's in the midst of that, in theory, Vinchester's food eco is spiking. Though it's not right now, honestly. Vinch is not really farming.
I mean, he did add a workshop and a monastery, right? So he is delayed in that transition as well.
Yeah.
I just feel like any type of civ that doesn't have knights, it's kind of hard to branch out when the enemy already has army.
Yeah, I was expecting...
It really is Camel or Shivamsa. That's the only thing he can really go for, and some siege.
I was kind of expecting Vinchester to be having a bit more eco right now, and he loses a Vil, and it gives Mihai a lot of space and time to adapt, so...
Don't you also think it's a mistake from Vinch to have 9 sheep in the mill? I think he should have 8 some of those.
Dude, I would be down to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not, but again, sometimes bad strategies, if you have confidence in them, feel fine. For me, when I play with Gurjaros, at least on Feudal Age builds, I have the 8 in Dark Age, and then I always pull out 4 or 5 underneath the TC before adding any farms.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And when you're booming here, I mean, he's clearly struggled producing out of all the TCs here or there, so I think it could have helped a little bit.
Yeah, I think Tato is the guy that always goes, like he says, go down to 4 at least.
Yeah.
Like, there's no real point of having 8. It's such a small, like, step up in food collection.
I don't know the math on it, but it was Tato and Doubt who initially I saw doing that, like, I don't know, 2 years ago now, and I've never really stopped, and it feels good, so I'd stick with it. But what sucks for me is no Cav Archers and no Knights. That's the really awkward aspect of the Gajaras.
Yep. Definitely.
And really nice shots here from Vinch. It's
gonna come down to timing, right? Like, when can Vinchester get out his army to reclaim some kind of map here? Because the gold will run out fairly soon.
Yeah. Nice eco here from Mihai. Really well done. Doesn't have horse collar, which you'd want, but he's still got good farms. He's still got some sheep. He's still got a bunch on berries. He's still got the hunt in the middle. But eventually, whenever the raids start, and they'll start soon, you need to have a lot of CA out prepared, or maybe even a castle in the middle here.
Yeah. I mean, I like that he delayed botkin, for example. Like, he knew he wouldn't do that big damage, so he just delayed botkin, make some more bills.
Yep.
And, now the question is if he's gonna transition to something. It seems like he's dropping a second barracks. It might be pikeman, which I'm fine with.
I actually really like that.
Maybe camel would have been better. I'm not sure.
Yeah, camel might feel a little bit more natural because you're gonna need the stable for bloodlines.
Yeah, and like you might be versus siege, right? He is massing some scorpion and mangonels. So
yeah, true.
Pikes can get flattened by that. But it's still a decent choice, I would say.
Double range from Vinch? Is he gonna go to the middle with elephant archers?
Oh, what the hell?
No, he's making skirms.
Mihai actually canceled the barracks now. Is he seeing something that he doesn't like? I don't know.
I think he thought about the Tatar tech tree and just said, I have no armor long term. Let's not go pikemen.
Yeah, but the pikemen are fine in Castle Age. Like,
yeah. And you still get Halb, which makes them really nice anyways. Right now, I think, even if Mihai's later to Imp, as long as he holds the middle gold, he should be feeling very comfortable.
Yep.
But I mean, when...
I think Castle Age makes sense. Oh, now we added the barracks again, so...
Okay.
Very indecisive here.
Well, if his opponent's making skirms, it's not actually a good move, right? Camel would have been better.
Camel would be way better, yeah.
It's weird, like, skirm is definitely a surprise for me, because when you already have siege to handle the CA, you'd almost normally go for something else, because you feel like you have the ranged counter to CA locked down. So I think Mihai's game sense is kind of where I would be. You're expecting something combined with the siege. You're not expecting it to be skirmisher.
Yep.
But that eco just cooking for Vinchester. Look at all that food eco. Look at the difference now. 32 on food versus 18. Such a massive difference. So this is where the farms have to come up. And pressure's on for Mihai, obviously, too, right? He has to win this game or he is out.
Yeah, I mean, Mihai knows Vinch will explode soon with some army. But he doesn't exactly know what yet.
Yeah, he's been so close to seeing it, but Vinchester placed those ranges perfectly, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's really being patient, too. Like, he wants this to be a big surprise where Mihai has no answer. And he also, I think he just lost his horse a moment ago, so he was able to scout a fair amount in the middle. He didn't see a siege workshop there, too. And here comes Vinch. Coming to the middle. He'll have skirms with ballistics.
Perfect from Vinch. Yeah. What a play.
Mihai's just guessed. He's guessed completely wrong here with the pikeman. Pikeman is such a wasted investment. It doesn't help at all. Man, and Mihai will see the worst possible thing on his screen right now. He sees elite skirm and the bills. Oh no, Mihai.
Yeah. They even have ballistic as well.
Yeah, this is brutal. You have nothing to fight this. Like, everything that Mihai has dies to these skirmishers right now. He's got to try and stop the castle with micro, maybe, but this is going to be really tough.
He's going to drop another castle on his own.
Oh, God.
He might be able to stop it, right? If he snipes enough vills?
Yeah. I mean, the skirms are going to be busy, and Vinchester...
that actually worked.
Yeah, Vinchester deletes his castle. Vinch might not be able to build another castle right away without using the market.
Yeah.
That's at 45%. And now he could make Keshix. Vinch is actually on the clock right now. And now Vinch is going to drop the TC. I mean, that...
Man, how did the game's turn like this? Is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it is crazy. Because 3 Keshix, and suddenly Vinchester's in trouble. And Vinchester doesn't have enough for a castle now either.
Yeah, and the Mangonel coming out, so...
Wow. Honestly, I thought Mihai was kind of dead.
Yeah, me too. Holy shit. That changed fast.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly it changes. I still think no horse collar, and now with all the focus, the lack of food eco is going to be the biggest problem for Mihai.
Yeah.
It's so tough to find the time now to fix that, and he will be hard focused on the middle. But, I mean...
Yeah, Vinch should be imp and have a castle in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not sure Vinch's castle can go up, though. Like, this... I don't know where Vinch is going to place his castle, but it might not be able to fully protect this TC if Siege can come out and Keshix can come out.
He could drop it behind it and just bank on getting traps when he's imp.
Yeah, true. Vinch even backed it up there. Wow, and he put it right out of Mihai's vision. How in the world? That's a smart castle from Vinch. Because he knows he just needs the traps to push the middle.
A lot of arrows from that castle.
Mangonel defense here from Vinch. As long as his castle's up, he's feeling fine. Still, Mihai hasn't seen it somehow, which is, again, ridiculous. And by the time he sees it now, the castle's already going to be up. That food eco from Vinchester has just been the key to all this, right? To make the skirms, to get him crazy. Is he dropping again? No, not dropping. Keshix come forward. Yep, and now the castle's up from Vinch.
Man, must be a nice reputation. Every time you miss micro, you can blame it on the lag.
Oh man,
I would love to have that one.
I tried to be a nice guy. I was playing the community tournament versus like solid player, 2K, 2K1. And I was raiding his woodline with 4 light calf, and I killed like 7 vills. And I was just like, he must have dropped, so I paused. And it's a community tournament, you know? I'm trying to be a nice guy. And I said, are you there? And he said, yes, I'm just slow.
Yeah, that's...
Whoops.
It's meant as a good thing, but it's kind of disrespectful. It's like, bro, are you playing even?
Oh, some units get in from Mihai into Vinchester's base. So that's good to try and distract Vinch, because that's the last place he wants to look right now. And the Mangonels are also pushing the TC, so Vinch will have no TC in the middle. Imp could come in for Mihai here. He's got good eco. He has 2 castles. But there will be trebs that he has to deal with now.
I mean, it always looks like Mihai is kind of dead, and then he kind of comes back in weird fashion. Like, now it's up to Imp. He has good control in the mid.
Yep.
Trebs will start coming out, but it will take a while to kill those castles.
Yeah, these are some good pickoffs here. These are vills that are in the middle, right? Like, Vinchester can replenish wood villagers and food villagers super easily, but if without a TC in the middle, every gold miner you snipe here is really nice.
Yeah.
So Vinch, I think, was a little distracted cleaning things up at home, so he didn't have his skirms there. The skirms were at home. And now Vinch's skirms. Ooh, nice micro from Vinch. The skirms are going to survive this, actually. That was very nice micro. First trap is out for Vinch.
That time. That's great.
More ranges from Mihai, so he's going to commit harder to CA. I mean, it's one of the best units with Tatars. I actually think it can work really well. But Vinch is prepped with skirms if need be.
Yeah, I mean, at least Kojara lacked the last armor, so they aren't as effective as others, but...
Dude, I hate this bug where the units will go back and forth on a castle
God.
foundation and not move.
And you don't notice this in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
it's...
Because now he's probably fixing his eco, right? Like, he's already done everything.
Yeah, he deletes the Scorpion. He deletes the Scorpion. It's a shame. I guess I'll try and report that again.
Again.
See if that actually gets fixed this time. Mangonels are coming in. Keshix and Cav Archers are here. Castle for Vinchester's probably going to go up. Mihai trying to deny it. He won't deny it. But he gets a lot of villager kills here.
With the Mangonels.
Oh, true. That could have been so much better. And he doesn't take out the trap.
Yeah.
Oof, those are painful losses. Mihai could lose both his castles. He can't make bombard cannons with Tatars. So losing castles means you'll never push down the castles from Vinchester, which gives him so much time.
He has 1 gold, like, kind of behind his base, Mihai. So there's that one, and then 1 on the top. In case he loses access in the mids. But if you lose access in mid, it's kind of rough for you.
Man, I mean, Vinchester, his boom has been ridiculous here. And now he's got a lot of time to think. And camels with Gurjaras, skirms with Gurjaras against Tatars. I mean, the Tatars are not going to go for anything that those 2 units can't counter.
Yeah.
This is going to be
it seems
really
like a really
tough
good
for Mihai.
comp for Vinch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Man, I mean, game number... If I'm in Mihai's position right now, I think the previous game is creeping into my mind.
Yes.
You know?
Sure.
Just like, oh,
I should have
man.
just won that one.
Yep.
He could have ended it in style with a Sicilian you pudding strat on the last map.
Yeah, true. We'll never really get our answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if he gets pushed. The population's super close. If he can get heavy CA, I do believe 40 heavy CA could still win him the game because no final armor on the skirms for Gurjaras, and the Gurjara camels could still get chewed up pretty quickly. But feels like it's just going to be so much easier for Vinch to take gold, and I don't know how Mihai is going to be able to keep his gold safe. It's going to be very tricky. He needs to get a castle again for Trebs. I don't know how beneficial silk armor is here, but it certainly wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. I think Vinch can also chill a bit. He has 2 castles defending him. It's not like Mihai is pushing him, really.
Yeah, yeah.
He can chill a bit, wait for some army numbers, and then go.
I think
also
Vinch
would need Chatrias, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, he did. Well. He did just snag that, so his
nice.
All his units are cheaper now. I think this castle from Vinch is a castle where he's thinking, what can kill me right now? And he's like, I already have the middle locked down. The side raid would hurt, so let's just castle up there, and that's a luxury. To be able to think about that just comes back to the middle control he has, and he's going to drop another castle there. That castle will fully protect his Trebs, and Mihai just built another castle. Dude, Mihai needs to stop this now.
Yeah.
Just so many skirms. There's 30 skirms on the map. How are you supposed to kill that? It's not going to be cost effective for Mihai to be able to kill this off, and he can't go for light cav, really. He doesn't have the time.
No.
He's going to try.
Skirms are dying fairly quickly. They don't have the less armor, but
yeah.
It's still very cost efficient.
Yeah, light cav will come in, but then Vinchester's got the castle fire, and Vinchester's got those camels as well.
Yeah.
Really tricky position. I actually think it's less about the army comp, more about just the time and space to think right now, too. I think Hussar and CA could actually work, but not when you're being pushed in the middle and everything's being trebbed down.
Yeah, I mean, if Vinch has infinite gold, it's going to be extremely hard as well.
Yeah,
kind of what he has right now.
3 castles in the middle from Vinch. He's even going to snag some relics. I think we could even just see more defensive castles from Vinch. The amount of castles he has in the middle is more than fine. It's already accomplishing everything he needs. We've got stables from Vinchester in the south now to start to raid. A couple camels raiding near where Mihai started. And yeah, defensive castle from Vinch is just perfect. He's making it so he's got impenetrable defenses here.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, Vinch is making it slightly more complicated than it is. He just needs to win the middle and he wins the game, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's still like a good sign that he's thinking long term.
Yep, and he'll have more stone to build more castles in the middle. And he is still pushing the middle.
Yeah.
And I think Mihai's castle is going to fall. Mihai 0 on golds. And Mihai is going to live to regret the previous game. Vinchester's going to move on. And Wandering Warriors Cup 2. And Mihai, I'm sure he did call the GG chat right after this. Just didn't get picked up by Capture H because I know Twitch chat tends to freak out. But Mihai finally goes down. And maybe there's some disappointment for Mihai because of the previous game. Maybe he feels like he could have taken it to 7 games. But I also just want to immediately say, what a tournament from him. What a performance.
Yeah.
He played really good. Beat Tato 3-2, knocked out the 3rd seed. And a nice recovery from Vinchester. I mean, he lost 2 games in a row. Previous game, he should have been dead. Won that game. And then this game, he just looked like he was right back on top. Super
and
smooth.
the games he lost, it's not like he played really bad or anything. He played really good. Mihai just outplayed him in those ones. So
agreed.
It was definitely a great set, and not a 4-0, which is great.
Yeah, the Ganji curse is broken as well.
Perfect.
I think
Mihai played great, but last game, man, he should have really had that one.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And you when you get to this level, you really can't have those games, those regrettable games. Sometimes
you have to be
those
more
could be the
consistent,
games.
basically.
Yeah. Vinchester now. Maybe one of the favorites to win the whole thing, dude. We've got one more quarterfinal. That'll be Nika versus Leary. But a lot of big names have been knocked out in this tournament. Vinchester, I think it's been a fair mix of creative and with like surprising his opponent, but also just being able to play the boomy macro chill games as well when he needs to. He's kind of had everything so far.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's very versatile in how he can play. He can really play anything. And he's going to be versus ACCN now, right?
I think so. Yes.
You can play on the home server then as well. Zero lag, I think.
Yeah. How frequently do you get to see ACCM with zero lag?
Very rarely. And ACM is also playing so freaking good.
I think
That's gonna be an interesting one.
I think the best ACCM played was probably when he 3-0'd that Ganji guy.
It must be, yeah, for sure. Man, he was insane player.
Oh, it makes sense to me why you're pumping up ACCM so much, considering that result, bro.
The level went down massively versus the Viper, but he still managed to do the deal.
Managed it, yeah.
But the first round was really the hard one, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
for sure.
Exciting times for Vinch. Ganji, thanks for joining, dude. I appreciate it. Glad we had some good games.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, we had some funny games. The Pizza game was a classic.
Sure.
We had some pretty ridiculous ones today.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the players are doing a great service to the tournament, I would say, as well. They're playing in a way that makes the games very entertaining, honestly.
Yeah.
And the maps is also a big attribute to that, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I
like it a lot.
There's been a lot of instances where I feel like we have good maps, but then the games are just crap because maybe players don't prepare or whatever. Wandering Warriors Cup 2 has just been the opposite. The games have been crazy. Metas are forming on maps you would have never thought metas could exist on.
Yep.
Comebacks are happening in ways that you never would have thought possible too. So, yeah, I agree. It's been great. Ganji, thanks again, dude.
Thank you, and good luck with the future of the tournament.
Thank you. Have a good one. See ya.
See ya.